Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes.
Why isn't it recommended for children? I'm kidding.
Mostly because their parents yell at me.
Well, I was trying to be funny, and I guess it didn't work.
No, I just take people literally. That's always my first response. So for some reason, today is World Snake Day. I don't know why. But I suppose they deserve a day for all the abuse they take.
Well,
and most of the time, they're really not doing anything wrong.
Well, it's funny because, like, I never used to have a problem with snakes until one took a shit on me. I mean, that's when I decided.
Okay, was this a pet you were handling?
Well, it was someone else's. It was a garter snake. And all of a sudden I realized there's this glop all over my hands. And I'm like, no, I'm done with snakes now.
Yeah, they only bother me. Well, it's kind of a combined thing that while my vision really isn't that good in general, I am very alert to small movements that startle me easily. Yeah, and a lot of the work I do involves, like getting into little crawl spaces, which tend to be where these snakes and spiders hang out. And, then I'm crawling into their space and they're often not happy about that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Why are you going into the crawl space?
Just doing repair work on houses.
Ah, okay.
So I tend to have to do things like, crawl under porches and things. And especially like if the house doesn't have a basement, it's just a crawl space to get to the pipes and wires.
Yeah.
So let's see, in the side chat, who have we got? We've got Amiga Nuts, the family, the Lone Wanderer. I've seen Wanderer around, but I don't really know who that is very much. So it says there are 8 people watching, but those are the only people who have said anything. So we've got a couple of lurkers out there.
Well,
native atheist.
And number of people watching is rarely an indicator of, like, it's rarely accurate is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times, like, I'll be in someone else's stream and they have their own stream up, so they count as a viewer. And if I'm doing it, I count as a viewer. And, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that kind of stuff.
But anyway,
go ahead.
Have you been up to anything else today was what I was going to ask, but it sounded like you were about to answer that.
No, actually, I was just reading the side chat. Amiga Nuts was saying, good news, my sister is, I think he meant, is in her 70s and happy grandma. So I don't know if that was an announcement of a new baby or what.
Actually, my cousin Mark just had a baby with his wife, and the one picture I saw, I thought she was kind of cute, but she also had this expression on her face like she was in the middle of taking a shit, so I couldn't tell.
Yeah, with babies, it can be hard to tell. Oh, I'm kind of glad that I'm done with raising kids. Especially now, it's like, yeah, having to homeschool them, I think, would be a little more than I'd be able to handle. And that goes back to that thing of not being very organized, that if you're going to try to teach kids, you have to have an organized lesson plan.
Yeah, and kids are expensive. And honestly, I could go the rest of my life and die happy never changing a poopy diaper.
Yeah, I'm pretty much out of that, and it doesn't seem I'm likely to be involved with any grandkids, so. There's only 2 of them that I actually hear anything from regularly, and that's pretty much just on Facebook.
It's funny, speaking of kids and all of that stuff, I was, I don't know, I want to say around about 11, maybe 9, I'm not sure, when my dad shaved his beard off. And it scared the hell out of me, actually, because no one told me that he was going to do it. And I walked in to the room and I was like, I recognized him, but something was so wrong. Something was so off, and I didn't recognize him. And while I didn't burst out crying, it took a really long time to get used to it. Well, he's started growing it back, and I don't like it.
Yeah, when my niece was not quite 2 was the first time I met her. And somebody handed her to me, and she just looked at me really strange that she was all confused, because that's my one brother and I that we look the more alike than anyone else in the family. That when he was in the Navy and I was still in high school, he was home on leave, and my girlfriend came in and kissed him by mistake.
I see.
Hey, Jenny.
Hey.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Oh, not so bad. How are you?
Day started out shitty, got way better. So,
Oh, good.
yeah,
Better-
my
better.
Nintendo Switch finally arrived.
I'm actually surprised you got it as fast as you did.
Yeah, well, it was coming from Italy. Can you believe it?
Yeah, well, it's, I've had to send some international packages, and they all took, at least a month to get to where they were going.
Oh, that's not my experience. I've had really good
No,
service out of Europe.
That's not normal. It's just with the COVID, it's really slowed things down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like 1 flight a week out of Italy to come to the United States.
Yeah, and that's what was happening to mine. Was I was tracking them and seeing, like, they'd get to Chicago and they would sit in Chicago waiting for a flight to Europe.
What are you buying from Italy?
Well, what happened was I desperately wanted a handheld gaming system because I wanted to go outside more, and I really didn't have anything I can do that didn't require, say, like taking a Lyft or an Uber or a bus. And I'm not doing that, right? So I went looking, and of course, much like the toilet paper, everyone hoarded video games for the pandemic, so I couldn't find one. But I have a friend who's in the military, in the Navy. He's working under an admiral in Italy right now. And he said, on base in, like, what do they call it? The PX or something? I don't know. They have a whole bunch of them for the military people. So he said, here, I'll buy one and send it to you. And I was like, okay, how can I pay you back? He goes, don't pay me back. Donate the money to a charity. So I'm shopping around for charities to give 300 smackers. But regardless, that's how I got my Nintendo Switch, was through the military.
Hey, Kate, I know a really great charity that you could send it to.
Yeah, I think I know what you're about to say. I'm looking for an organization.
That's a person who's in the field of communication, spreading all kinds of good truth and information to the public. And his name is Purple.
Well,
I appreciate that.
I think when Tom said donate to a charity, he meant like the Human Rights Campaign or something.
Yeah.
Fine.
I need somebody to come and tell me why my computer's not working.
There, see, he needs charitable computer service.
Well, that's one thing I missed, that in that small town I was in Michigan, there were 2 retired guys that ran a computer lab at the community center. So whenever I had a problem, I could bring it in there and they'd look at it, and it was just, there was like a tip basket there. You just throw in whatever you thought it was worth. I'm afraid if I have to, call Geek Squad or something on it, that they're probably going to charge me $100 just to look at it.
What does it do?
Since Windows did an update, the USB driver stopped working properly, and it won't recognize half of the things plugged into the USB ports.
Oh, yeah, I heard you talk about this. Didn't somebody suggest to you that there was some USB upgrade that came along that just completely sucked and made all sorts of stuff unusable and go to an earlier version?
Well, and I was looking for that, and I tried to roll everything back, but still having a problem. One piece of software I tried to load in gave me a message about missing some of the C++ runtime drivers. Unfortunately, I can't find like just a runtime package I can install. It's like if I go to Windows, it only wants me to install this whole studio thing for developers, which shit I'm never going to use, and I don't want that taking up all the space in my computer. You know, I just want the basic runtime things so that things other people wrote will run.
Maybe C++, maybe you could find a C++ group somewhere that could answer that or supply you with just the individual files.
Yeah, because the problem is that Windows won't acknowledge there's anything wrong, so it won't overwrite any of the existing files to fix whatever's corrupted.
You can't just yank a file out, throw it away, and put in a new one?
If I knew specifically which one, maybe. But I'm also nervous about working with it because if I take out one, I'm going to disable my keyboard. And then how do I put anything else back in?
You don't.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, that sounds pretty stinky. I don't know. Computers are so weird. They can be temperamental sometimes, where like the most random shit can break them.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to figure out why my computer kept randomly rebooting. Turns out it desperately needed all the cat hair cleaned out of it.
Oh, it was overheating?
It was pretty chock full. Well, you have to understand, I have 2 cats now, and so I kind of have to clean it out fortnightly.
Yep. Yeah, that's one of the things on my project list is I'm going to build a box for mine that it can be in, that I can just like have a furnace filter slide in so it'll catch most of the cat hair before it goes in the computer.
Well, I've got on one of my other machines, I've got one of these jobbies that goes over stuff, but the other, like, older computers don't.
Yep.
Couldn't you just, like, go to the hardware store, man, and buy, like, some window screen and, like, tape it on there with duct tape and stuff, you know?
Well, that actually would work for the most part, but I was going to go with the furnace filter just because it would get a lot finer particles out.
Okay. I'm just teasing.
No, I mean, actually, that would work as well as the thing that Kate was holding up there.
That's one of the things I hate about owning laptops is having to open them up to clean them from about annually, every year and a half.
And you know,
something like that.
I don't understand why that's not a standard feature on computers. You know, why they don't make them with a replaceable filter. You know, that you could just have an air filter that you replace every couple of months.
Not sure how much good that would do, though, because it might make it so that the computer can't effectively vent.
Well, I mean, yeah, you'd have to balance it with bigger fans, but...
Yeah.
And those fans, those style of fan blade design is designed for pushing volume, not developing pressure or suckage.
Oh, they sure do suck.
Well, that's not a problem either, though, because like the room air filters, you know, those are designed too for just passing a large volume through. So the filters are pretty much, you know, meant for that.
For some reason, my cat is licking the furniture. Why would you do that?
Oh God, I had this dog. God, I loved her so much. I miss her so bad. Her name was Mulder.
Oh,
and
yeah?
she was my shop dog. And yes, she was named for Fox Mulder because when she was young, she had color markings that were very fox-like. And when one of the people at the dog park I knew suggested that, I said, "Oh well, then we're going to name her Mulder."
Actually, it's kind of funny you mention that because I have like a stuffed plushy fox that I named Dana. You see, Dana Scully, Fox Mulder. So yeah.
Sure. And Mulder at the shop, anytime it would rain or in winter with snow and ice and stuff, she would come into the shop when we brought a car in, and she would go around and lick all the bumpers, clean of whatever liquid was on them.
Well, okay. I discovered like I've got a bit of a bug problem right now. There was like the screen door, the bottom of it was open, and I didn't realize like it wasn't secured. So all these bugs got in, and now Xander chases them around, kills them, and then eats them. I've never seen a cat do that before. Apparently a lot of them do, but none of mine ever had until Xander. He loves to eat bugs. Okay.
Yeah, most of my cats have done that.
Most of my dogs have done that too. In fact, Mulder was, I got her as a rescue from the Humane Society. They had found her, or somebody had found her and turned her in, that she had been living in this neighborhood alone for like 6 or 8 months. They reported, and then finally they caught her. She was, oh man, when I got her, she was just nothing but knots, smelled like hell. Her paws were worn down. She was skinny as a rail. She probably wasn't, going to live very much longer on her own, but she would eat anything that was possible to be eaten. She would hunt and catch mice and eat them. And she was a dog that could actually jump up and pull birds out of the air.
Well, that's probably why she stayed alive as long as she did.
Yeah, she got really good at it.
Back when I was still living out in the screaming wilderness of Vermont with my parents, we had this cat. Now, don't ask a 2-year-old to name a cat because I just pointed and went, Kitty, and I was identifying what she was, not giving her a name. But then for the next like 18, 19 years, her name was Kitty, which is why I named the second cat Rover, just for the hell of it. But she was a vicious hunter. I mean, vicious. Like, there was once I was in my room, and now I wasn't even 5 years old yet. I'm in my room, and I look under the bed, and there is a dead rabbit under there. So,
holy fuck, really?
Yes. Kitty had somehow killed the rabbit, snuck inside, snuck upstairs, and put it under my bed without being seen. And so I go downstairs, and my mom's on the phone. Of course, I grab her pant leg and start yanking, going, Mom, there's a bunny under my bed. And she's like, that's nice, dear. And I'm like, Mom, there's a bunny under my bed. And she says, I gotta go. And she hangs up, goes upstairs with me, looks under my bed, and she goes, oh my gosh, there's a bunny under your bed.
Oh, damn. Yeah. That's impressive. A cat that can catch a rabbit? Holy fuck.
Yeah. Oh, I was terrified of her until I was about 10. And then she like calmed down and we became really good friends. So I miss her. Yeah. Also, you were talking about finding a stray. Back when I was living in Seattle with the girl I moved there for, we had 2 cats, Bat and Squeak. And one night, big old storm. It doesn't storm as much in Seattle as you might think. It mostly just drizzles, but huge storm. And from outside, we hear the mewing of a kitty. And we're like, oh, that poor thing. I hope that cat's okay. And then in the morning, when all of the storming had cleared up, we're still hearing the cat. So we go downstairs and we find in the wheel well of this car, this little tiny grease-covered kitten making the loudest racket you ever heard. So we brought her upstairs, washed her off as best we could. Turns out she was black anyway. We only knew she was clean because the little white patch on her chest cleared up. And man, we put up the signs. We asked all our neighbors. No one claimed her, so we kept her and ended up naming her Dizzy because I took the cat chaser and just sort of spun it around her and she followed it. So I spun it a little faster and she followed it. And I kept going faster and faster and faster. And she's just whooshing around. And then finally she stops and her head goes, bleh, and I'm like, that's it. Your name's Dizzy. So
Cats can be very cute.
yeah, you should see the air that Xander can get. Oh my gosh, you want to talk about jumping? I mean, he won't catch a bird, but my goodness. And he's completely heedless of where he's going to land, too. I've seen him jump up, do this weird pirouette thing in the air, and then just T-bone himself against the AC unit.
Well, my cat Tasha was a great bug hunter and a great jumper. That I had literally seen her jump 4 feet straight up and nail a fly in midair. So one day when I was at work, she was bored and wanted something to play with. So she pushed out the bottom corner of the window screen to let a bunch of bees in.
Oh, gee.
And she was limping, so she must have got stung in the paw at some point, but it didn't stop her from doing it again.
Yeah, my German Shepherd Bosch was unafraid of bees. She would grab them right off of flowers and get stung, of course, and it didn't faze her. No yelp, nothing. Just her face would swell up.
Yeah, I just came home from work one day to find like 6 or 8 bees flying around my living room.
How do you do anything about that if you're not a beekeeper? I mean, like, assuming you don't want to kill them, because that's kind of on the bad side these days. We need more bees.
I was catching them in a Tupperware container and putting them back outside.
Yeah, that's how I do it. I just, a jar or Tupperware or something like that and catch them and send them out.
It's never really come up on my end. I don't know if those murder hornets ever actually manifest here. It might be worth investing in some Tupperware.
I talked to a guy who is part of the Washington State, or was it British Columbia, DNR, and they said that they tracked down the 2 hives and wiped them out.
I could not possibly have heard that right. Did you say DNR?
Yeah, Department of Natural Resources.
Oh, okay. I've never actually heard that before. DNR in my world means do not resuscitate. Well, you understand my confusion.
Absolutely. So, anyways, I think he said that we don't have to really worry about them, that they've been beaten back, and we caught them so early.
Assuming that there isn't a hive they haven't discovered yet.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. In a weird way, I almost wish they had attacked. It would have been so much more interesting than this stupid plague. And honestly, I suspect that the people who refuse to wear masks would be a lot happier if this virus was something they could shoot. If they could see it. I mean, what we need is a shrinking ray, and we take all of the NRA members and inject them into people's bloodstream after they've been shrunk. Give them some sort of, I don't know, antibiotic gun or something. Not that biotics would help, but some sort of antiviral gun, and set them loose in someone's immune system to shoot the COVID. It'd be like Fantastic Voyage meets Starship Troopers.
Yeah, except I would not trust the mentality of those people to, be only shooting the offensive cells.
Well, yeah, there's always a downside. But, I mean, honestly, I think one of the reasons they're reacting as badly as they are is just because they can't actively do something. They can't fight something. I mean,
feeling of helplessness.
Yeah.
You mean like when they went out to the beach and all tried to shoot down the hurricane?
Did they?
Yeah.
I must have missed that.
Yeah, I missed that one too.
I
do remember the witch who was doing a ritual.
Yeah, I think it was Inez. The one that was really threatening and then made its turn at the very last moment and only brushed the Carolinas
Yeah.
last
I
year
do
or year
remember
before.
the witch in Florida who was doing a ritual to redirect the hurricane that went and hit and flattened her house anyway.
Mm.
Well, it was the will of Jesus.
Well, the
And
Earth Mother in
some-
that case, but
And now someone's quickly, like right now, making that into a ringtone. Look, Bionic Sense preached.
yeah, if you start preaching, then we'd know you were possessed.
I have exorcised the demons. I don't know. This house is clear. I'm not sure I can do Southern preacher voice as well as I'd like. Oh well, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't do accents. Not very good with them.
I try. I don't claim to be good at them, but I try.
There we go. That's more like it.
True. And Inner Space is directed by one of my favorite directors of all time, Joe Dante. So, good call. Just saying.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess Paul Verhoeven's okay. He did do Starship Troopers and RoboCop. So.
Starship Troopers was on local TV a week or so ago. I got to see it again. God, what an awful movie.
Really? I think it's a great movie. I just wish they'd make the book into a movie someday.
Yeah.
It's technically well done, the movie, but it is just such a completely hokey, ridiculous plot, and it's just so shallow and stereotypical.
If you just shoot them up and
it's a great good bad movie.
Well, but that's the thing, though. The fact that it was so shallow is actually on purpose, because what Verhoeven was doing was calling out fascism.
Well, yeah, they certainly did do that.
Okay, I don't know if there's lag or something, but The Family there, yeah, I've watched Inner Space many, 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 many times. In fact, I think the disc is right there.
Hey, B, why don't you come on in?
I know?
I was just asking her to come in.
Do I know The Family? I mean, I've seen that name once or twice, but is this one of those people where you pop on and I go, oh, you? I don't know.
Well, she recently changed her handle. She used to be Being Mindful.
Oh, I had no idea. Okay, I do know you.
Okay, why have we got 10 people watching and I've only got 2 likes? Are we really that bad, people? Nobody likes us.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, I can go somewhere else. That's fine. If they don't want me here, I'll just leave.
I mean, it's hardly my bedtime, but for some reason I'm kind of tired. But I don't want to leave the stream just yet. It's fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't get much sleep last night, and I tried laying down for a little while, but it didn't work out very well.
Actually,
just too much noise.
I did pretty well for sleep yesterday, at least as far as the nighttime falling asleep part is concerned. But my cats love to sleep next to me or near me. But in the morning, they get up and start turning my bed into a battlefield because they hate each other. So it wakes me up at the ass crack of dawn, this rumble on my bed. So...
Yeah, I've had that. I've had cats that basically decided I was the demilitarized zone, and if either one of them popped their head up enough so the other one could see them over me, they had to attack.
I don't know. Every now and then it seems like Xander wants to be friends with Columbia, but if she turns her back and he's too close to her, he will jump at her butt and try to swipe at the top of her tail, like the end of her tail. The bit where it meets her body, he likes to swipe the upper bit of that.
Yeah, I was hoping that I could get Sammy and Petunia to the point where they could live together, but Petunia's just a bully, and Sammy is just so totally passive that he just lets her get away with it and he doesn't fight back.
The only thing I've found so far, because like I bought one of those plug-in wall thingies that's supposed to release like calming pheromones. It didn't work. The only thing I've found that seems to even come close to working is if Xander's nearby and Columbia starts growling, if I pet her, she sort of starts to chill. It's the only thing that even comes close to working. And she doesn't completely chill. She just gets a little less angry.
Well, I think Columbia is still upset about someone new in her territory, and especially, moving in on you, that she doesn't get your attention whenever she wants it.
I mean, I'd like to believe that's what it is, but Kitty and Rover never got along, ever, their entire lives. So...
Yeah, and a lot of cats, that's going to happen if you don't get them while they're both kittens. It's always hard to bring a second one in.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like a decade or two, but the next time I get cats, it's going to be 2 kittens, 2 sibs,
Oh, cool. I just downloaded this app from NASA for the iPad, and it's a 3D exploration and play with it kind of stuff. I don't know exactly what, of the space station.
Oh, cool.
Oh my gosh, beautiful graphics.
Is it like a
zoom in and turn it on three dimensions? And
hello.
Is it like a 3D tour, like a virtual, well, not virtual, but I mean like a walkthrough first person thing?
I'm just exploring it, but I think that's kind of what it probably does.
Cool.
I'm supposed to tap on something, a module, to select it. Okay. Oh, okay. So now I see just the module.
So Beth, you're stuck where it's just satellite?
Oh, it's really pretty. I mean, the graphics are just very, very gratifying.
Yeah.
Hey, B.
We live outside of town in like a little township thing, so there is no cable run out here. You have to get satellite.
I was in that situation for about 2 years too. And that gets expensive.
Which would be...
This is some sort of...
she pays $240 a month for satellite internet, and cable. It's that ridiculous.
This is
the problem she has is the company she went through, the download speed's great, the upload speed is 3. So if there's more than one of us online at a time, you're just screwed.
Did you say that this is some sort of seagoing arcology?
Huh?
Well, you said it's a township.
Oh.
Sorry, I'll just be over here.
Yeah, it's
a terrible, terrible,
yes,
terrible.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Someday somebody's going to cut out your tongue. I hope you know that.
Well,
we're waiting for the cat to get
I
it.
hope they just send me to the penitentiary. Well, I need to be punished somehow.
No, you'd enjoy that too much. We're not doing it.
What? My puns are pungent. I need to be punched or punted. I mean, I want to be a pundit, but I'm more of a punk, really.
I think you just need to be spanked.
There you go.
There seem to be enough people around.
I do find you very punny. Oh, goodness.
I want to know why you can't go inside. Well, I can look at this picture of the space station, and it's lovely. It's just beautiful detail and all this stuff. And I can zoom in and zoom out, and I can rotate it 360 degrees in every plane. And I can tap on a module, and it'll bring up an information sheet about that module, but I can't go inside.
I got the impression that that's exactly what you were doing, going inside. I misunderstood.
Yeah, no, I can't go inside. That's disappointing.
Well, I think you can't go inside because you're in a plane. You need to have a spacecraft to get up there.
Well, that could be.
I mean, honestly, maybe I was a little biased just because I have this VR tour simulator thing of the Orville from the show of the same name. You just get to walk around the ship. And so I sort of pictured,
oh, that sounds cool.
it is. And you can also fly it if you want to. But I was picturing that in ISS form. Or rather, the ISS in that form. So I misunderstood.
Maybe that's what I should do. I should learn programming good enough that I could make this graphic of the ISS, and you get to go everywhere and play with all the equipment and the arms and all that kind of stuff, and dock and undock spacecraft and all that neat junk.
You'll need a good 3D artist for that too, not just programmers.
Yeah, and you need to find, like a shit ton of photographs from every angle.
Or blueprints.
Actually, I think I could just use this. It's so good. This looks as rich in detail as any photograph I've ever seen from the ISS.
Speaking of software, something I'm looking for is somebody mentioned there was a program that would let me put a DVD in my computer and watch it with somebody through the computer.
Really?
Yeah, so that I could watch a movie with friends in another state.
There is sort of a way to do that in VR. I don't know about on just a regular computer.
Yeah, I need something that runs under Windows.
Well, my VR software does, but you'd still need the VR gear, so it's not helpful, is it?
Yeah, but just, with the lockdown, I haven't been able to make any friends locally, and Sloth Girl's really not into sci-fi, so I need somebody to, watch movies and watch Stargate with again.
Now, I'm assuming you mean SG1 and not the movie.
Well, Purple, I've done that with people.
Am I right on that one?
Yeah, well, I've got to start with SG1, basically, go and review all that and then get into the other stuff.
Well, right, but you know that Stargate is based on a movie that's barely remotely. So I was assuming you're not planning on starting with the movie.
I might. I've got that on DVD too.
Okay.
I think B has frozen.
No, I see movement.
I do too.
Oh.
She did buffer for a bit there, though.
It's true.
Whoops, sorry.
If you can hear me,
what
I was going to say, Purple, is I've watched movies with people like that before. We just do a private stream and do a share screen.
Yeah. What does that do?
As long as you don't do as long as you don't do a public stream and it doesn't stream all the way to YouTube, you can't get copyright problems with it.
Yeah, I was just wondering what that does as far as the resolution, and in this format, if I was to even be sharing the screen, it still would only be 2/3 of the total screen size.
I think you can.
Right.
Make
I mean, honestly, mine buffered a little bit and pixelate a little bit because my internet sucks. Because people are on and off of it in the house next to me, but nobody else had any problems with it. They all said it was clear for them. But I mean, also I watch everything on YouTube on a 44-inch TV, so to me it was nice and big. So I guess it would depend on what I would say you'd have to have at least a laptop to get a good visual on it. Yeah,
well, that's not a problem on my end. I've got a desktop hooked up to a flat screen TV.
Well,
I mean, for whoever's watching it with you. Yeah.
We can test it out if you want to. I've got something that is copyrighted by me, and I will let you use it, no problem, if you want to try it.
Yeah, well, mostly I was just, wondering about as far as the resolution, and also,
let's find out.
Like the
Yeah.
chats, does this like compress all the sound down to one channel?
I don't even know if the audience can hear this. That's the only thing. I think there's a way to share with sound, but
I'm getting audio. I was hearing
can hear it.
feedback from the tower.
I could hear the telegraph.
so
I can hear it.
what I'm seeing right now on your screen looks about like it does on mine. So
Yeah, I don't see anything objectionable about it at all. Let's see if I can get rid of the iChat and blow this up.
It was at least the standard TV quality image.
So it can totally work if you want to do it then.
Yeah, like I said, the only problem I've seen with it is whatever the person who's watching it, what their internet's like. Besides that,
Okay.
it comes out fine like that.
Okay, so I think we've got to start setting up a thing of, going through Stargate SG-1 from the beginning.
Oh God!
Do 2 or 3 episodes a week.
Oh man!
I'd be totally up for that because I started watching it. I watched I don't know how much of it, and then shit went crazy in my life, and I never went back and watched the rest of it. So I'd be totally up for that.
That's what happened to me too. I've only seen through season 8, so I didn't even get up to.
I think I only went through
off
3. I think I got into 3.
Yeah,
and never watched.
And it's been more than 5 years since I've watched it. That's why I was figuring I'd better start from the beginning again to, review.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, I don't remember who all the characters are.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, that would be fun. I'd be interested in that too.
And that it was a really good series on that, as far as maintaining the continuity and using things from storylines that were a season or 2 back.
Right.
See if I remember. I honestly cannot remember the name of MacGyver's character. I remember there was Carter. I want to say Samantha Carter. And then there was Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel Jackson.
Thank you.
And it was O'Neill was the commander.
Right. And then of course Teal.
Oh yeah.
I'm blanking on if there was anyone else on the team actually. But there was their commanding officer, and I cannot remember his name.
General Hammond.
Bald dude.
General Hammond was the commander of the base.
Yeah, so that's about what I remember. And of course there were the what were they, like the Asgard gods who look like the abduct you and probe you aliens,
Yep.
Yeah, but they were never actual characters. They were just those little gray animatronics.
Thor was.
They weren't actors, but yeah, Thor was a total character.
Thor? Yeah. In Stargate?
Yeah, he was one of the aliens.
Yeah, Thor was one of the Asgards. He was the one who was always dealing with them most directly.
Oh, okay.
Boy, it's been a while since I've watched.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah, basically, like the Goa'uld had taken on the persona of the Egyptian gods, and the Asgard had taken on the persona of the Norse gods.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So Thor was in there, and there were also a couple of episodes that dealt with Loki, who was Thor's brother, who apparently had come down and was doing some unauthorized experiments with humans.
And you wouldn't think it from a guy whose name is Loki.
Well, I mean, that it was a good way for them to tie it into the mythology that way. That he was the trickster screwing around with people.
Yeah, I was making a bad.
He missed that. I didn't miss it. I just chose to ignore it.
I got it.
Uh-oh, Kate went silent.
Well, no, I was whatever. I'll just be over here.
Oh, I'm watching the wrong screen. No wonder everything is out of sync.
Oh, you're watching the YouTube with lag.
Yeah, and listening, of course, on this. I think we'll put that away.
Okay, so it sounds like
trying-
we've got a bunch of people interested. We just have to decide what time's going to work for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, like, at the moment, my Friday... Well, no, actually, come to think of it, I do watch movie night on Fridays. And if I'm not doing that, when there isn't a pandemic, I'm going to game night. So Fridays are out for me.
I have movie night on Friday, so that's out for me.
Yeah, unfortunately for me, pretty much Wednesday through Friday is all kind of busy. So it would have to be Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday.
I vote Monday.
Okay.
That's
Monday evening.
That's just my opinion. Anyone else can weigh in, obviously. It's just...
My vote is not Friday.
Okay, for me it would actually work if it would work better if it was later. So maybe like 10 p.m. to midnight. Well, that would be 10 p.m. to midnight Central Time.
Okay, there we go. That was the question I was about to ask. Yeah. No, that's nice and early for me, so...
Yeah. Yeah, you're 2 hours behind me.
Yeah. Now, is it Central or Mountain that is like some weird offset time where they go like on TV? It's like tonight at 7, 8 Central and all that.
Well, they usually skip Mountain Time.
Yeah.
Of course, there's like one province of Canada that's weird because instead of a full hour, it's only half an hour off in their time zone.
Well,
Yeah, I don't get that.
For you. I mean, what do you expect from a country that actually allows...
I'm in Mountain Time, so I find that offensive.
Sorry, I'm just saying it's common. I'm not saying it's a good thing.
I seem to remember there was a plot point in
I was just
where they had
I don't get offended.
gone to like a rally or something, and a bunch of people were trying to get to like their train or bus or whatever it was back, and unfortunately they didn't realize that the town they were in didn't observe daylight savings time, so they thought they had plenty of time to spare to get to their ride, and it turns out not so much. They were actually about an hour late. That was like a big honkin' plot point in the show.
Yeah, I read about one about...
Isn't it Illinois that doesn't do the daylight savings time?
Well, in
No,
the
Indiana.
show, it was just a city, but
Indiana and Arizona.
Yeah,
Australia is weird too.
Chicago or something.
Well, actually, Michigan doesn't either, except where I lived in Michigan. Because the 5 counties that border Wisconsin shift with Wisconsin. The rest of the state of Michigan doesn't.
That's weird.
It actually kind of makes sense there because there isn't any major city in Michigan there, so you're a lot closer to things in Wisconsin.
You know, it's never occurred to me to wonder what it's like in Lansing, which is the only town in Michigan I can name.
Well, you know Detroit.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I do.
Ann Arbor.
This is called being provincial.
Traverse.
Well,
I
challenge people to name towns in Vermont besides Burlington and Montpelier.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot in Michigan, and most people aren't even aware the Upper Peninsula is part of Michigan, including half the people in Michigan.
That would not have been my first.
I used to deliver beer up to Traverse.
I would have said so. Like I would have remembered if someone had said, "Hey, do you know what that bit of land is for?" You know, and to be like, "Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, good point, Lone Wanderer. Flint, obviously, duh." I guess I just needed my memory jogged. I know more towns in Michigan than I thought.
Ann Arbor,
it's not worth much thought.
Grand Rapids, Saginaw.
I didn't know that was in Michigan.
Grand Haven.
Haven. I've never heard of Grand Haven.
Menominee.
Grand
Haven is actually a really nice area over by the lake.
I thought Menominee crossed the border. It was on both sides of the border. Oh, okay. My error.
Yeah.
Iron Mountain.
Yep. Marquette is about the biggest city in the Upper Peninsula.
Yeah. Marquette.
Oh, yeah, I've seen some people get deeply, deeply offended by the way Vermonters pronounce French words because it's almost 100% phonetic. And I've seen some people kind of lose it, going, no, that's not how it sounds.
Diana will always lose that if you say Versailles.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'll have to remember that.
Because it's Versailles.
I don't know. I love telling the story about how, and this is what they called themselves. In my school, there was Bonnie Dubois and Jason Desjardins. That's what everyone called them, and that's what they called themselves. Nobody thought, like, oh, yeah, Desjardins. It didn't come up.
Well, in Wisconsin, at the foot of Lake Winnebago.
My aunt married a guy.
Go ahead.
My aunt married a guy with the last name of Dagenet, and everybody pronounced it Diagnos. And she was like, oh. It was a beautiful name, Dagenet.
Dude, Lone Wanderer, I said it was an episode of The West Wing. I totally said it.
In Wisconsin, at the foot of Lake Winnebago, there is a city called Fond du Lac, Fondulac. Obviously a French word. Half the population calls it Fond du Lac. The other half calls it Fond du Lac.
Yep. Well, I've said that most of the screwed up place names in the Midwest are the result of an Englishman trying to write down a Frenchman mispronouncing an Indian word.
There's a lot of that in Washington State, too. Like, okay, there is a city where it's spelled Sequim, which looks like sequium, but it's pronounced squim. And don't even get me started on the way that people who don't live in Washington State mispronounce Puyallup.
Puyallup?
Puyallup. Puyallup. It looks like Puyallup, but it's Puyallup. There's a lot of place names in Washington State where if you're not from there, you can't pronounce it.
Yeah,
that's like there's a place in Ohio. There's a place in Ohio that's Gallipolis, and they pronounce it Gallipolis.
It's
and I said no. No, they pronounce it. Wait a minute, what is it? They pronounce it Gallipolis, I think. And I said, no, it's Gallipolis. And they're like, no, it isn't. I'm like, you don't pronounce it. You pronounce it Metropolis. It's not Metropolis. It's spelled exactly the same, except for the first couple of letters. But they always, like, I don't know. But it's Ohio. They're a bunch of MAGA Trump supporters, and they fuck up every damn name that's worth a shit anyway.
It's funny. I had to go all the way to Texas to actually see in person a MAGA hat. Some dude in the airport just sitting there like this, MAGA hat all over his eyes. It's the only time I've seen one.
Oh. Yeah, there's a lot. They sleep a lot, apparently, because there's lots of pictures of those bastards sleeping with those hats on. Like the guy with the mask over his eyes.
Yeah.
In the airplane. What the fuck?
Oh
my God.
Yeah, well, that was a big
I used to live like the guys had the hats in the dashboards of their trucks, and every time Trump did something, they'd be like, "Oh, he's so great!"
Yep,
it's ridiculous.
That was a big part of why I had to get out of Michigan. There was
myself in the head of someone who thinks Trump is the bomb. I can't do it. I don't get it.
I don't either.
Yeah, it goes along with the religious mindset, and they can't see any of the things he's actually done. They still idolize him.
They just want that icon, that figurehead, that guy to stand at the front, sword raised, going, "Follow me." Not that Trump wouldn't be at the back of the pack, but still.
Yep. Oh, no, he would start out at the front. He would say, "Follow me." And then as everybody charges, he would just stand there and let them go past.
Well, have you seen that footage where he's like on a stage or at a banquet or something with a bunch of world leaders, and they're all like walking to a certain spot for a photo shoot, and Trump is behind most of them, and when they all stop, he just sort of elbows his way through to the front.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I just cannot stand it when that man comes out on stage and he does his little hugging the flag routine. It is so goddamn fucking shallow bullshit, hypocrisy. It just makes me livid.
Oh, he done that more than once.
Did you see the layout?
Oh yeah, he does it like every speech.
I avoid his speeches, but okay.
Yeah. Same.
It's just
Did you guys see the thing with the Goya?
Yeah,
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
there was a meme
him and Ivanka
on
posing with the Goya.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter.
Well, there was this one dude on Twitter who posts, he's like, who the hell eats canned beans? And he holds up this bag of like beans, you know? And I figured, oh, what the hell? I'll do the same thing, except my beans were coffee beans. So, yeah.
I had beans tonight. I mixed red beans with refried beans.
Were they good for the heart?
Well, yeah, because there's no nasty cholesterols in them and stuff, and so it's like getting red beans and rice, except really quick because you don't have to cook it down. You already got the pasty stuff with the refried beans. You see.
So did you miss what I was saying or ignore it?
You mean about the
beans being good for the heart?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get it and then ignore it, or not know what I was talking about?
Well, that was a marketing tool a few years back that they're heart smart.
You really? Okay, You've never heard beans good for the heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you fart, the better you feel. So have some beans with every meal. You've seriously never heard that?
No, but I've heard beans, musical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. The more you toot, you better eat beans at every meal.
The more you toot, the better you feel. So eat beans, a musical meal. There's two different versions.
Oh, the musical.
I've heard
that's a good one
so
too.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I got you there, Kate.
And then there's the other version. The other version. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. Blah blah. Happy birthday to you.
Ooh.
Never mind.
You ever notice how In the Hall of the Mountain King sounds like an evil Mary Had a Little Lamb? Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. Seriously, it sounds like an evil Mary Had a Little Lamb. Listen to it sometime. You can't unhear it.
Okay, here's one I noticed. What are the first few notes of the Death March that, you know, the da, 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 da. Okay, what are the first few notes of the bridal thing? Da, 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 da. It's the same. It's like the same sequencing and timing of both of them. Just a little shift in the notes.
As the Death March.
I honestly thought you were going to go to Star Wars with that.
Pretty much how I feel about it, Jenny. So I get it.
Dick Dawson on his Deep Thoughts. One was saying that you know how at weddings, older people always go around and poke the younger people and say, "You're next."
Oh, do that at funerals.
Yeah, do that at funerals to the old people.
Although I have to say, one of the best things I ever saw at a funeral, it was a YouTube video of this guy had died, and he knew he was going to die, like he had some fatal disease. So he arranged with someone to have like a sound system inside of his coffin, so that when everyone's standing around the burial site, there's this, "Hey, I'm still alive in here. Hey," you know, and like just cracking up the entire funeral party. They're like, "Yeah, that's the kind of shit he'd pull."
Sloth Girl has specific instructions for my funeral. That she is to hire a ventriloquist, so when people come up to the casket, I can talk back at them.
Nice.
And she has to stuff my jacket full of fireworks for them to cremate me.
Oh, see, now they won't do that because they're in a structured oven that you could damage with fireworks.
Yes, but they're not supposed to know.
Yeah, they're not supposed to realize they're in there.
No, whatever you're wearing, they take off and sell to the Goodwill.
So stuff them up your ass.
No,
that might work.
I'm pretty sure when they cremate you, they take all your clothes off.
No, they can't take my jean jacket off. Not
That's
happening.
what I was gonna say.
Well, I don't know. I personally, like, I intend to live forever or die trying, but if the worst should happen, I want to go with one of those companies that mulches you and uses you for fertilizer. I like the idea of being recycled back into the system.
Yep. Put me through a chipper and spray me out into a field. That's good enough.
Well, I like the, kind of new idea. I'm not sure if they'll let you do this in Minnesota yet, but they basically just put the body in a burlap bag and they plant a sapling on top of it.
Close enough. I hate the idea of being embalmed and trapped in a box. Like, you're just useless at that point.
Yeah. Well, I think we're slowly eroding the planet by preventing those nutrients from getting back into the soil. Possible.
I don't know. For some reason, that makes me think of something I thought of a while back, where it's like, when we keep making history constantly, and eventually history is going to be the only class they teach in school because there's so much of it. It's kind of like the ever-expanding range of what music is considered oldies. We keep making new music. Time keeps passing. Eventually, music is going to be nothing but oldies and a tiny little sliver of new shit.
No, the oldies are still anything between 1960 and 1980.
I can go with that.
My parents didn't have oldies, even though they did. And it doesn't seem today there's anything but the oldies and that's what it is, from 60 to 80.
I was raised by hippies. I consider oldies to be mostly folk music. But
I was a hippie, and a lot of us were into pretty heavy rock and roll and acid and stuff.
Yeah, my parents were those kind of hippies. They were more like the activist, environmentalist kind of hippies.
Oh, those kind. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And so, I was
tree or a bush.
To,
go fuck under the tree or the bush. That's.
I mean, I was raised listening to Pete Seeger and Peter, Paul, and Mary and that kind of shit. I hated it, but I think that's why I actually really enjoy Irish drinking songs. It's that's palatable folk music.
I like Irish drinking songs too.
Yeah, I used to hang out at this pub called Kells in Seattle. Every other week, this band from Oregon, why am I blanking? Portland, would come up to Seattle to play at Kells, and we got to know the band. Me and my friends, we would go there every time Grafton Street was playing. It was so much fun. Loved it. So, yeah. Oh, and I learned some really great Irish toasts, too. My favorite has to be, may you be found dead in bed at the age of 99, shot by a jealous lover. Yeah.
Nice.
What was the other really good one? Yeah. Here's to those that weren't as lucky.
I like the Nordic blessing. That may you be in Valhalla a solid week before the Christian God knows you're dead.
I've heard variations on that, may you spend X number of whatever's in heaven before the devil knows you're dead. I've heard that one too.
I like the one, I want to die like my grandfather. Peaceful while you sleep, not screaming like the passengers in the car were.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've heard that one 1,000 times before, but it's still funny.
It is.
Oh my God. It is so difficult to look at myself on camera like that and not make funny faces.
Okay. Russ is asking if he can come in.
One's Russ.
I know.
Frustrated atheist.
True. You do want to, don't you?
It's funny how many people I either only know by their name, their meat space name, or how many I only know by their cyberspace name. Right? Like people will say, oh, hey, Shecky Greenberg's coming over. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's totally badass atheist coming in. I'm like, oh, that guy, you know.
I don't know frustrated atheists, so it's perfectly fine by me. Always welcome to meet new people.
Also, I just like
he hasn't been too active lately, but I thought you knew him.
Mm-mm. No, I'm not an atheist community person. I'm an atheist, but I'm one of those atheists who doesn't see any reason to talk about it. Why even talk about stuff that doesn't exist?
So Surf there wants me to make more funny faces.
Hello.
Hello.
How is ya?
What's going on, people? Oh, same shit, different day.
Oh.
Here to kick gum and chew ass, and I'm all out of gum. Or something like that.
See, now it's okay because my face is actually blocked by my webcam, so I don't have to make funny faces anymore.
Actually, Kate, they requested them. I think we should do a couple. This is my favorite.
Sorry, you can't see mine with my mask.
Yeah, I'm doing a really good one right now too.
Aww.
And I'm naked.
All I would have to do is get on camera, and everybody would be like, "Oh my god, please get off camera."
Yeah. Well, so. I've got to keep the mask on because Kate's only like 3 or 4 inches away from me here.
And I might give you a computer virus.
Oh, damn malware.
Wow.
Doorknob.
Sorry, my brain is composing bad Firefly jokes because you said now. None of them work, though, and the moment's lost. So, ignore it.
Yes, I took about 3 months to pick this handle because I wanted to find something that people would be able to spell that wasn't already used on YouTube.
It's funny how internet terminology changes.
That's
because I remember back in like the late 80s, early 90s, when people are still doing dial-up BBSs, everyone called their online name a pseudo, short for pseudonym. And then at some point, people decided to adopt trucker language and call them handles.
Yeah, I think it may have just been, different terms used in different regions. And as the internet kind of blurred it all together, we had to standardize.
Perhaps, but I actually avoid using trucker terminology for that just because it sounds wrong somehow. I don't know.
Well, my brother was an over-the-road trucker, so we had a CB base station in the basement.
Oh, you were the guy fucking
I was
up
over
my
the road
television.
for 8.5 years.
Really? You were long distance?
And my handle was Bam Bam. Yeah. I went over the road. I've been in all 48 contiguous states several times.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the only
I've
time
driven on every major highway and been in every major city except for Denver, Colorado.
I've
one I never hit.
Always kind of wanted to be a trucker, but
highway.
What's that?
What would you define as a major highway?
Yeah.
Interstate system.
Okay.
Interstate system.
I-89 and 189 in Vermont?
Yeah, I've been on I-89. Not for very long, but I was on it. Probably about...
Yeah, because major highway system...
like 50 or 100 miles or something like that.
So basically most of Vermont then.
When I was living in New York,
yes.
I discovered an odd bit of geography. That if you get on I-90 in Rochester, Minnesota, and drive 1,000 miles, you will be in Rochester, New York.
Where I went to college.
Yes. Yes.
Here's an interesting bit of geography for people who don't know geography. That somebody stupid once said. They once said that the state of New York is bigger than the state of Texas.
Oh God!
I kid you not. And I asked, and I was, how? And they said, because there's like so many islands that incorporates New York. Like it's way bigger than Texas. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like it's nowhere near.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
You can't touch that's like saying Rhode Island's the same size as California. No.
Yeah.
No.
You sneeze and driving through Rhode Island, you go, oh shit, I missed it. I'm in Connecticut.
Well, if islands is the standard, then I would imagine Florida is fucking gigantic with all those keys.
Right?
Yeah.
It just boggled my mind how he actually thought that. It's like you can look at any fucking map of the United States and realize, oh, there's itty bitty New York, there's Texas. Huh. There's a big difference there.
I just want them to formally recognize the Great Lakes states as the North Coast. We got the East Coast, we got the West Coast. That's the North Coast.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
No,
but there's not a coast there. There's another country.
Yeah, but it's Canada, which doesn't actually exist. Kind of like Atlantis or Australia.
Yeah,
Australia,
on,
right? I was gonna say.
Canada is just the continuation of Mexico. I mean, everybody knows this.
It's Minnesota's northern suburb.
There you
don't
go.
disparage Canada. I'm working really hard to get them to annex the upper Midwest.
Okay, fair enough.
I knew
don't get me wrong.
Purple was going to say that. I was just waiting.
Vancouver, BC is beautiful Canada. But you know what? We can do without Quebec.
Do without Winnipeg.
I don't know.
Winnipeg's a good place.
Yeah. Well, Minnesota.
No, I know somebody who lives in Winnipeg, and she said it's full of fucking drugs and crime, and it's shit, and you don't want to go there.
Well, I have to ask, what's so wrong with drugs?
And crime.
That's not what I mean.
Well, I do. I'm very curious.
We're not talking about simple shit. We're talking about like meth, heroin, and crack.
Oh, well, okay. Mind you, I really like, say, for example, Princess Leia, Xena, Wonder Woman, Buffy. You might say I'm a bit of a heroin addict.
Love it.
Ha ha! Dun-dun-dun.
This is why I like Kate. I love the puns.
I love that joke. I've only seen a few other people make it without my prompting, so. You know, I've never been to Minnesota.
Neither have I.
Well, if you keep up with those puns, there's no reason for you to stop here.
I've been to Missouri. That's as close as I can get, and it's really only close in name, so.
Okay, Missouri is the most northern southern state. Missouri should really be down there with Alabama and Georgia, the way their attitude is.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I always heard that Missouri.
Yes, they are definitely Southern Bible Belt.
Well, I mean,
Always
that's why, if I remember right, I was there for Skepticon. And I know that American atheists like to go to a place that's not friendly to atheists just to raise awareness. So I don't know if that's why Skepticon chose to be there, but yeah. I guess
Well, you know, everybody poops everywhere. I think it's a general thing. Speaking of drugs, I saw some crackheads behind my place of business on my way out this evening. And I recognized two of them, and they are well-known crackheads. So I kind of slowed down, and I had my window open, and I said, "Are you guys okay?" And they said, Oh yeah, we lost something. They're tearing their car apart. They must have lost the crack. And so I drove away laughing my ass off because I know they can't find their crack, and they're all standing outside the car like, look.
You know, the one and only time I was ever offered crack was in Mobile, Alabama. I was actually on my way back home to Texas. I was at the bus stop and I was waiting for some family to come and get me. And step outside, smoke a cigarette, and this guy comes up to me and is like, "Hey, man, you want some crack?" Just like that. And I was like, I stared at him for a minute. I was like, "No, thank you." And he goes, "Why are you a cop?" And my very first, thought in my head was, A, why is that the second question you ask? Why is that not the first? And B, is it that only cops in Mobile, Alabama are the only ones who don't want crack? Like what is this? It just left me with more questions than answers.
Well, the reason people ask, "Are you a cop?" is usually because they figure, like it's this rumor that cops have to tell you they're a cop if you ask, which is total bullshit. But that's probably why.
I'm just curious on why that's the second question.
Yeah.
And not the very first question.
I bet you any amount of money he was a cop and he was trying to act like he wasn't a cop.
Someone in the chat
trying to get you to buy some. And by the way, dealers will walk up to random people because they're trying to find a new victim. I mean, client.
Yeah.
I got some stories. Well, a story, and I'm only going to tell the first half of it because the second half is like a movie of the week trauma shit. But I was going out with this girl in Seattle, and I knew that she was an alcoholic, and that probably should have been my first clue to go running. But she was hot, and we had a rapport, so I figured, what the hell. And at one point, she said, "Look, I need to show you one aspect of my life if we're going to be together." I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "Just come with me." So I figured, okay. And we go up to this bar called Dino's that is well known for being the place to buy drugs. Now, I'm already neck deep in this thing. I can't just run away. So she proceeds to buy crack from this guy. And then the cops show up. So she slips it under her tongue, and we walk away with a complete stranger who wanted to smoke up with her. There was no way I was doing the crack myself. And what ensued later was just horrific. And yeah, I'm being a lot more choosy about who I date these days, which is why I've been single for so fucking long. But,
Same.
The no addicts rule is a deal breaker. You cannot be an addict and date me. I don't even care if you've been clean for 20 years. I've had too much addict trauma in my dating life. I'm sorry. I'm probably being really mean to some people who are clean and have been for ages and have no desire for whatever substance it was ever again. But I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think for me, the line would have to be,
I'm the same way.
maybe if you've been clean more than 10 years, I might consider it.
Well, I don't ever want to be someone's reason to start using again.
Right, and all it would take is something as small as y'all broke up, and it's like they started using again because you broke up with them, and it's like, I don't want that on my conscience.
How much worse
or a
would
bad
it be
fight, or their parents died.
How much worse would it be, though, to be the reason they started doing drugs while you're still in the relationship? Like they're doing them because
It's so hard. It's so hard. I got involved with this woman. She was 3-4 years older than me, but she was just lovely, just rabidly smart, and alcoholic as fucking hell. And I so wanted to be involved with her because I liked everything about her except the alcoholism and all that it did to her.
That sounds pretty similar to what me and Flea went through. That was the girl that I was. Yeah, that's a nickname. It's not a real name. Her parents didn't name her Flea, but that's what when she was a child, they said, "You're small, high-pitched, and annoying. You're a flea." So the name stuck.
I guess I'm sympathetic to it because I realize...
I'm with you, Kate. I've dated some ex-addicts. I don't know. They're just fucked up people. And they just seem like they're always on the brink of, I'm going to use again. Just one more step to the left. and I'm just not. I don't want to deal with it. I'd rather just be single and not deal with the drama and the bullshit. I just don't want to.
Well, I have reflected on that. There really isn't any reason that I'm not an alcoholic. By all accounts, I should be. I don't know why I didn't go that way.
I don't know what
Same
happened.
here.
But about actually, it was closer to 4 years ago now that I think about it. My desire for alcohol just went away. Like no reason for it. I just stopped wanting to go to the club or whatever. Not that actually, no, I take that back. I still wanted to go to the club. I didn't want to drink the booze. So, and it's weird because I used to like the stuff. Like every Friday I'd go to the Mercury and have 2 doubles and that was it. But now I'd probably go there and just order a soda. No, doorknob, it's the first one.
Although she did make Kate want to run.
Well, and one thing that I've noticed, okay, I am super, super, super attracted to sort of like punk chicks, like Tank Girl, But what I've discovered is that in the real world, Tank Girl doesn't just come with issues, she comes with a whole fucking subscription. So, it's like I gotta find someone with that look, but inside they're like a freaking Pollyanna. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one of the best expressions I heard for that is that we've all got baggage. The question is yours carry-on or do you need a U-Haul?
Oh, you know what a lesbian brings on a date? A U-Haul.
A U-Haul.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the 3rd date. First date you meet, second date you have sex, third date you move in.
Wait a minute. If you're holding off sex till the second date, what do you do on the first date?
Heavy petting.
You just make out and heavy petting.
That sounds a lot like a lot of my, the beginning of my relationships.
I'm serious, man. I've dated a lot of fucking women. And Purple, just for the record, I always say, I don't mind someone having a little bit of baggage. Everybody has a little bit of baggage. And I'll help somebody carry a carry-on. But I'm not dragging around a full fucking set of Samsonite.
Yeah.
Just not doing it.
How about American Tourister?
Yeah.
I mean, I've done that. I've done that so many times and been stripped of thousands of dollars and all of my belongings, and I've restarted over 3 times now.
Oh, thankfully, I never got to that point.
Yeah, half of my relationship started with, hooking up online with sex and then finding out later that we actually had enough in common to, get along with each other while we still had our clothes on.
Oh, that's lovely. That's a rarity.
One of my favorite science jokes has to be, what came before the Big Bang? The big second date.
Yeah. Hi, Jeff.
Morning.
How is he?
Wherever you are.
I've never seen Jeff drinking coffee. Usually I see him in my morning and he's on beer already because it's like 5 p.m. for him or something.
No, it's about 1 in the afternoon, but I'm kind of an afternoon drinker anyway. So, but no, it's just tea this morning.
Fair enough.
I like tea, but it's hard to find a style I like, a flavor I like now. I don't know why.
Earl Grey.
The stuff I used to like, hot. But the stuff I used to like just doesn't appeal as much as it used to, and I don't know why.
Maybe you're just out of your tea phase. I used to drink tea all the time in the afternoons and evenings, and I drink coffee in the morning and then like soda during the day. And now I rarely drink soda anymore at all. I'm just not into it. I drink lots of like juices, Gatorade, vitamin water, that kind of stuff, coffee in the morning. And I just don't drink tea anymore. I was on a chamomile tea jaunt for about 3 or 4 years there. I really like the flavor of that. But I don't know. I've just not been into tea for a few years.
B, isn't that pink stuff that you put on like sunburn and bite, insect bites?
Chamomile?
No, that's calamine.
Oh.
So, you know,
I'm sorry.
like,
It's not for sunburns, it's for insect bites.
I have gotten into kind of a coffee phase. I just bought a small French press and some Ethiopian coffee grounds, and it's pretty decent. The only thing is, though, that I've been trying to get more water in my diet, but I'm a super taster, which means water tastes pretty bitter. So what I do...
Thank you, me too!
I fill up this bad boy and then throw in about 4 level teaspoons of either Tang or Kool-Aid. And it works really well because it kills
I have to do that
without being too much sugar. And this thing, like, whenever I drink out of this, people are like, "What is that? A fire extinguisher? What the hell are you doing?"
That was my first thought when I saw it. Actually.
No, I'm the
That's
same way. Even like the expensive bottled water, filtered water. I don't care what. I taste bitter ass chemicals in it, and people are like, water doesn't taste like anything." I'm like, no, I cannot drink tap water at all. The only water I've ever found that is good is like you go out to a farm in the middle of nowhere and get the old hand dug well. I can drink that water. But it really has like a sweet. It's got a sweet mineral taste to it. There's no chemicals in it.
Yeah.
Well,
True story.
Water and tap water, even filtered, is no good. So, live stream 5.
Yes.
I
High five.
really like my.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Little. I don't even know what brand it is. Pure. My Pure tap kitchen faucet filter thing.
Oh yeah, my true story. My sister, she the very first time I ever had Fiji water, my sister tried to market it to me as she's like, "Oh, it's the best water, blah 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 blah, and it tastes so great." I sat there and she bought it. She bought me one, and I took a drink of it. I was like, "Yeah, this is pure tap water." And she's like, "No, it's not. It hasn't been touched by human hands and blah 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 blah." I'm like, "No, that tastes straight up tap water."
And Doorknob Head, have you never tasted someone's ass chemicals? Really?
Are you going to regret asking him that, Kate?
Sometimes it's soap. Sometimes it's...
I challenge you, Doorknob Head. Go out and lick someone's ass and describe it, discuss it.
Yeah.
Conversation.
Only here on Purple's channel will you ever hear people advocating for eating ass.
You...
Oh, I know. There's a couple of kinksters in my audience.
The outside, lick a cheek. I mean, unless you're into the deep dish tonguing, but
it doesn't have to be the crack. It could be a cheek, right? Still, the ass.
You.
I mean, I said ass, not
everybody. Yeah, everybody automatically goes to the crack every time, and then they want to point fingers at everybody else. Now, why did you think of that, Jenny?
Well,
I've seen movies.
I'm just saying,
I've seen movies.
How do you know you don't like? How do you know you don't like eating ass unless you've tried a few of them? I'm just saying.
Well, that's
I've nibbled on some ass cheeks. I like them.
I've never eaten
never knock it till you tried it.
I've never licked a cow's asshole. Why? How do I know I don't want to do that either?
Well, I mean that's
not the same thing.
How not? They're both mammals.
Yeah, I think.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Like Scummer said, don't knock it till you try it.
Now, if you want to talk
Jenny,
about
just some friendly advice. If your partner's ass is similar to a cow's ass, you may want to have him take a shower.
Well, if you want to talk about like licking body parts, for some reason my youngest cat, Xander, has started licking my feet. And I don't know why, but he just loves to lick at my toes and my heel. Strange kitty.
He also licks
your
furniture.
feet are not.
See, my cat always hated me when I started licking it.
Well, I think you're licking pussy wrong. Like you could do a lot better than that.
Oh God, that just made me think
Nor
of
do
this.
you get on your knees like South Park and chew on the carpet. Not the same thing.
There's this woman on Twitter. I can't remember her name right now. She's young and she's just very smutty, funny. She can tell good bathroom jokes and stuff. She's very quick and clever. I don't know if it's true. It's probably not. But she was talking about her boyfriend asked her a question today or yesterday. In all sincerity, he asked her, can you pee if you have a tampon in?"
Yes, I've seen that tweet.
Well, if you go to her Twitter page and look for that, you see that there's also a diagram in.
Yeah. And it's like the diagram of the vagina, and she's got all it labeled out. Yeah, I saw that, and I laughed my ass off.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess that if he really meant that she owns lots of vibrators, because he's not doing the job. If you don't know the female anatomy, you're probably not doing your job.
Well, I mean,
well, that's what I wrote as a response. I said, "This is why we can't have nice things or orgasms from men."
So, okay, like I've never bothered to look it up, and so I've always taken the word for granted, but why G-spot?
Another person
gynecological?
Is that it? I don't know. I never really took the time to think, I can look it up. I'm curious.
I'm just guessing. It's
well, I wouldn't say.
I mean, I always just find it. I've never Googled it.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's gynecology.
Oh,
well,
I don't think.
Everybody's homework when they leave this stream is to look that up.
You probably shouldn't look up G-spot, Kate. You might not find something.
No, I've got my answer right here. The G-spot, also called the Grafenberg spot, for German gynecologist Ernst Grafenberg. So it's literally named after some German dude.
Which is weird.
I'm going to start calling it the Grafenberg spot.
It's weird because men have G-spots.
No, it's called a prostate.
Yeah, well, they call it also the male G-spot.
Because
it does the exact same function.
If I ever start an all-lesbian band, it's going to be called The Devil's Doorbell.
There you go.
Nice.
I had always assumed it was called the G-spot because she'd go, "Oh, gee, you found it."
Yeah. I can't believe I've never just stopped to think about where that term came from before. Usually I'm always curious about terminology, but this time around I just figured, I got this licked.
See, people, you come to my channel, you learn stuff.
Yeah, and everybody missed the joke that Kate said.
Educational.
I got it.
I caught it, Kate. I caught it.
I got it.
I caught it off the back.
I'm just saying I caught it under the mat.
Well, if you got
you
it,
can't let these
nobody else gets it. I don't know.
Guess it's a spot that I don't understand what that means, doorknob head. But okay.
I don't get that either. A spot that has chucks in it? Chucks. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong kind of chuck. My brain is going immediately to Norris. Although I suppose
Mine too.
I automatically went to like the chucks that you put under wheels to keep things from rolling.
I think those are chalks, actually.
No. We did Chuck Norris
wheel
jokes
chalks.
on Dave's stream yesterday, so.
What?
I mean, there's also
we did
a throw.
Yeah, I'm sure you get a lot of dates.
I'm used to it. See, the thing is, though, like the kind of jokes that will make your friends roll their eyes and go, might actually work on stage.
Well, they work on me because I love those jokes.
Still, you know what I'm saying.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's how I know whether I have a good friend or not, is if I make some ridiculously weird, absurd joke related to something and they laugh and don't roll their eyes, then I'm like, you're my best friend now. Because you actually got that shit.
I think that is a very good measure, if not of friendship, possibly intelligence, or at least being quick on the uptake when confronted with something unusual. Like, I was very disappointed by the cashiers at my local supermarket about 6 months ago or something. I walk in with my groceries and like I have my backpack because I don't use the plastic bags anymore. And so the person doing the bagging goes, "Do you want everything in the backpack?" And I say, "No, just the stuff I bought." And we're clearly boggled. Clearly boggled. You know, it's kind of like if I go to a restaurant and I order my food and they go, "Can we get anything else for you?" And I say, "Yes, the still beating hearts of my enemies, please." And the best people, like there's some people who go, blah, blah, but there's some people who are like, "Look, we can't do that for you, but we do have a couple of gallbladders. Is that okay?" You know, and those are the people worth knowing. Those are the people worth knowing.
I agree. Absolutely.
I would have probably went along with that joke. There's one joke that I always hated when I worked as a cashier at Walmart, which was the what was it?
Do you sell walls?
No, not that one. They always asked whenever like their card wouldn't work, they said, "Oh, if it doesn't swipe, it's free." I'm like, I don't hear that joke 500 million times a day.
That's that's not funny.
So is that a Walmart thing? Like I'm not sure I've ever even been inside a Walmart ever. And I haven't had television in a very long ass time. So is that like their slogan or something?
No, it's just what people say whenever if something doesn't if their card doesn't work, then automatically that means they get all their stuff for free. I don't know why, but it's just something people have always said whenever I was a cashier, and I'm just like, no, that's not what that means.
I've gone my entire life.
It must be a
just now without hearing that.
The one I always get is bet your job must be better than walking the streets. So I'm a postman if people don't know.
No, actually, I preferred walking the streets.
Oh,
yeah.
It was more ethical than working for Walmart.
Yeah, see that joke would have been a lot funnier if I'd known you were a
the context,
beforehand.
Perhaps the context should have been there to begin with.
Would have helped, yeah.
I probably would have genuinely laughed without any sarcastic, snide asides to it whatsoever.
You know, Anja is saying in the chat that she doesn't want her body parts named after some guy. So instead of the G spot, Anja, I think you should call it the B spot from now on. You're welcome.
B, bitch?
No, me.
Oh! So I was right then.
I think it's interesting. What I think is interesting is that even
I feel like we're at the point now, Kate, you don't have to say Miss or Mrs., but for everybody else that doesn't know me well, it's Miss Bitch. So carry on, Jenny.
I find it interesting that even at this time and date that men are still discovering women's anatomy.
Well, I mean, I guess in a way it's okay just because they're not the same men from last time. They're starting over from the beginning, so you kind of do have to teach them.
It's one of those things that we just collectively forget that knowledge every generation, I think.
You'd think it'd be passed down from father to son.
Nah.
But it's not.
Close to talking about feelings.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They're too busy talking about their dicks. That's what men talk about.
Yeah, that's the only thing men talk about. Absolutely.
Hey, accurate, but hey.
Not the only thing.
Wow.
Not the only thing, just 78% of everything they talk about.
Having worked in a
sports, football.
Having worked my adult life in a field that is
cars,
primarily men,
big trucks.
What they mostly talk about is making each other giving each other blowjobs. That seems to be the number one point of discussion.
They smack each other in the ass, they flip each other's dicks, and then they're like, I'm a straight dude. And I'm like, but are you? Like, that's a lot of talk about dicks and balls and flipping each other. Your dick.
You just gotta, all you have to do is look at all the jokes that straight guys say where they say it's only gay if blank, to realize that maybe they're just a little bit on the, gay side.
Well, I love that one dude. There's like this picture of a guy going through airport security and they're patting him down. He's got a shirt on, says it's not gay if it's TSA.
Oh, that's great.
I'm sorry, I missed that, Kate. Say that again, please.
I'm still confused by the whole flicking their dicks thing. Is that really, do guys do that?
Us metal.
Whenever I was
us metal fan types, we have another sort of version of that. Us like heavy metal fan types, we have another version of that, which is I think it came from the comedian Brian Posen actually to begin with, but is that nothing is gay as long as you put your hands like that and then go Slayer. You can have another guy like giving you a blowjob and it's not gay as long as you go Slayer.
Okay.
Slayer.
What somebody used the expression before, flicking your dick. What is that?
Yeah, I'm
so by that. The only thing I ever heard about that is like whenever I was in high school, we always did nut taps where you just walk up to your friends and you just slap them right in the nuts and then walk away.
I've never heard of that.
Not gay.
And the reason why you do that is to cause them as much physical pain as possible, because then it's funny.
Boys are weird.
Yeah, I've never got guys.
See, you're gonna do a
people
practical
ask
joke
me,
around.
Why are you a lesbian?
I'm just
Really.
realizing how much I've missed.
Oh yeah, and the thing is some people continue that on into their adult life, and others leave that back in high school. But yeah, and then of course you always have the doing the Rochambeau where you just kick someone in the nuts and first one to give is a loser.
God, boys are so strange.
I can't admit. I got to admit I didn't never partook in that, but.
The other thing I
observed, how many times in high school did you flip a girl in her nipple and go, "Ha ha, gotcha"? I never did.
Just once, but she was being a total cunt.
Oh, well, that's different. But it wasn't like a game.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I've been gay since I was
honka. It never happened.
Well, I mean, but that's something.
Yeah,
I mean, gay, but like we would
gay as long as I knew what a lesbian was, and I've never done that.
Slanker?
But they all say they're straight.
Is that slang I never knew? Slanker?
I've got to say that's a new one on me.
That's supposed to be his penis.
Well, I got that part, but I just never heard anyone call it
no,
that.
I hadn't heard the term either, but from context it was obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, a slim wanker? Maybe he's tiny and skinny. I don't know. Don't tell a story.
No,
we don't want
to
just so we're clear.
Conversation was, but a friend of mine, Chris, at some point said, "Oh, and I'm a grower, not a shower," and I'm like, "Thanks, I needed that info."
Just so we're clear, though, we guys don't just hit each other's in our genitalia to cause pain. We also had a version of chicken where what you do is you put two arms side by side and put a lit cigarette in between them, and the first one to pull away is the chicken.
Man, you guys just love abusing each other, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
I had the male hardware, but I never understood how guys socialize.
The other thing I had noticed, again from working in a primarily male job scene is the first thing that when men start to discuss a woman that they either saw at the same time, or maybe a vendor came through the door and it was a woman or something like that. The first thing they talk about is her breasts every time, every fucking time. And then they talk about other things, but it's always they talk about her boobs.
See, I'd love to sort of sit here and say I feel so attacked, but I can't really argue any of this.
Yep.
Oh no, I
I
can't
want to
either.
thank everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat for affirming my sexuality.
I have to say, I've never liked the term boobs. It sounds like something a 4-year-old would say because they're not yet old enough to say tits.
I always wondered if boob referred to the woman's anatomy or the guy who was staring at it.
Well, depending on how hard the guy's staring, it could be a little bit of both.
How hard
Kate,
the guy's staring. I know what you did there.
Kate, I'm fairly binary, and so this comes from that. I was always taught that ladies don't say tits; they say boobs.
Well, I mean, okay, but it sounds so silly. It's like you say that along with wee wee and caca when you're like 5.
Exactly.
Look, now you're just trying to be a poopy head, so.
Yeah, which is why it's a Beavis and Butthead catchphrase.
Gazongas, yeah. I don't know. If I was going to go for a slang term, I might say knockers.
Hooters.
And knockers is timeless.
Gazongas.
Yeah.
Melons, cantaloupes.
I've heard cans as well, but I've also heard that for your ass. I don't know which. I don't know.
Racks, your rack.
Yeah.
The Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks, okay.
Well, Twin Hills maybe, but
Twin Hills. Oh Lordy!
Slight undulations in the land.
Who talk about like, oh, I exercise while I'm a double D and it's so painful, and I'm like, maybe I'm glad I'm so flat the walls are jealous.
Yeah, I've heard
I was saying that the other day, Kate, that when I was younger, I said to my mother, "How come I ended up so flat chested and the other 2 girls in the family ended up bigger?" And then when I got older, I got about 28, 29, I was like, thank God, I don't want them anyways. I'm totally cool with it.
I've heard of a lot of women say that.
Sport and
I'll stick to my small B, thanks.
And like there's a lot of exercise involved in those things. A lot of especially in the VR sport I play, Spark. There's a lot of throwing motions. It's very aerobic. And if I was swinging around trying to do all that stuff, it's no.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of women who say that they have to work out with a bra on because if they don't, then they will get black eyes. And it's like, yeah, that sounds kind of awkward to be exercising with.
Like seriously, going sports bra only, one of the best decisions I ever made.
I don't like them. They don't offer enough support.
Well, when you're tiny, you don't need a lot of support.
Yeah. I'm fat and I have side boob issues, so I need something with a little more structure to keep the side boob down.
I saw this absolutely terrifying photo of a Walmartian walking around where she had this spaghetti strap sort of like tank top thing going on. And the extra skin was hanging out, and it looked seriously like flesh curtains. It was terrifying.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have my most embarrassing fat on my body is my chicken wings. I just they gross me out. I hate them.
Okay, and where did the thing come from to call them puppies?
I've heard sweater puppies before.
What?
I don't know.
Your boobs?
Yeah.
Puppies? I've never heard
that. I have heard that before, but I don't know where it originated.
Well, usually it's using the phrase "gotta let these puppies out."
Yep.
And I think it just has a reference to the fact that you're letting them out, getting them out of the brawl.
Okay, I guess.
Okay, well, I call lots of things puppies in that respect.
Yeah, I guess that's usually when it comes up.
Those puppies were so cute.
The other weird thing with men is them giving pet names to their penis. I'm like, why?
Yeah, that I don't understand either. I've never given my penis a pet name. That sounds weird and stupid.
No, I've never done that. My name's not Russell Brand, you know.
Every time I think of pet names for penis, I think of the movie The Failure to Launch with Kate Hudson and
Sarah Jessica Parker.
No, Kate Hudson and what's his name? Fucking, I can't even think of his name right now.
Wasn't Matthew McConaughey in that?
Is that Matthew McConaughey?
Matthew McConaughey. Yes, Matthew McConaughey.
I thought that was Sarah. I always thought that was Sarah Jessica Parker that was.
No, it's Kate Hudson.
Okay, it's been a long time.
Yeah, and she sits there and she names him.
Yeah,
she names his dick Princess Sophia, and he's like, "Why not name it something more manly, like Butch or this or Crawl the Warrior King?" And it's like, what? Why? What? That's every time I think of people giving pet names to their penis.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh, that was horrible. Don't do that again.
No!
That can't be real.
Sad.
But I that's just ruined my entire day now.
That is real.
Mission accomplished.
See, it's all right. It's all right for you. It's all right for you. Like it's all like late for you. You can go and sleep this off. I've got to stay up and like have that image in my head all day now.
Well, I wasn't paying attention to the screen, so I didn't see it.
Lucky you.
Yeah. If you ever get a chance and you're just feeling kind of twisted, look up wall Martians on Google image search, and wow.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
judging by the reaction of the rest of the people, I don't think I will ever look that up.
Yeah, I see
would
Walmart
recommend
come up
it.
a lot on YouTube as a recommendation, and I'm like, why would I want to look at that?
I can't find the one with the skin curtains, but oh no, there she is. Oh, that's horrific. There we go.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody get ready to puke simultaneously.
Okay. I'm holding my cat for comfort.
Okay, now that is literally that old joke about putting your bra on backwards and it fits better.
I'm looking at the one next to it. Is that you, Purple?
No.
Purple has way better fashion sense than that one.
I know, that's why it was such a funny joke.
Blorps. Okay, chesticles. I know that one. Cha-cha bingos? Never heard that one. Okay, yes, jumblies. Sure. Liberty bells?
Golden globes. I've never heard that one. You're making some of these up now. I mean, I'll give you props of creativity here, but you're making some of them up.
I mean, honker burgers? I don't think so. Honkers, yes. Burger, not so much.
Bouncy castles, I've heard that one before.
Airbags.
Oh my goodness.
Boulders.
Yeah, like the nickname for the slang for a bra is the over-the-shoulder boulder holder. I've heard that.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard double slingshot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
Andrew, I think we all think
about a third of those.
I think so too, but I will give him credit for creativity.
He's pretty talented with that. You mind not putting your ass on the camera?
All we could see was tail.
That's good.
Robert
Oh,
X,
and
what
also
do you
your cat's
mean?
ass.
Robert X, what do you mean by women can only gossip?
I think it was in reference to the guys Rochambeauing each other or being strange about their dicks, and women can just gossip.
We're not.
Oh, okay,
Come on, I mean,
okay, I can live
we're
with
not
that.
innocent. Guys aren't innocent of that either. You know, come on.
Oh no! As my dad's
true.
gotten older, the more he likes to gossip, and he will sit there and ask me if I've heard of this shit, and I'm just like, no, because I don't give a shit about other people's lives.
I don't think Doorknob is making those up. Those all sound perfectly typical.
I mean,
I'm not buying hunker burgers. Like hunkers, yes. Hunker burgers, no.
See, when I grew up, honker was like, that was a honker.
No,
Really?
that was a hawker.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a hawker.
Yeah, because you're hawking loogies.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I was thinking wrong. You're right. What the hell are you doing? Just hold still.
I was in a class, a sexuality class, and they were talking about the diversity of nicknames that we give our genitals, and they said that for men there's something like 112 recognized slang terms for the penis and or balls. I thought that was a
I
riot,
don't
but there
doubt
was
that.
so many.
Hey, it doesn't.
Because that's all they ever talk about. See,
how many of them are variants on others? You know,
Probably quite a few of them.
Two words together, and then we took this word and put that word with it, and you know, like how much padding is there in those numbers?
Let's start counting.
I thought for sure you were going to say bra.
No.
And that's another thing. All right, guys that are in the chat here or in the panel. Well, no, anybody. Just let's leave this open to everybody. Except we can't do it with the chat because we can't hear what they. I wanted to hear what they say. How do we do that? So, pronounce the word of a woman's garment that is spelled B-R-A.
Bra.
Yeah, bra.
Bra. I have heard people like from Boston say brar, but no, it's bra.
And I've heard people say bra.
I think saying the word bra for lots of men is as difficult as them holding a purse. And then you can tell who they are by how they pronounce the word, and it goes bra, where they put a W right in the middle of it, bra. You know, and it's like, come on, you guys, that's not the word. Can't say that.
I've also heard people say bra.
Here, touch this box of Kotex.
You see, I grew up with with mainly females, so all this stuff doesn't bother me. Like, I've gone several times inside of the store holding a purse, actually putting it on my shoulder and everything, being like, "Oh yeah, this purse matches my eyes." I've gone shopping for tampons and everything, and
was
like, I've done all of it. None of it phases me anymore.
Yep. Just one tip for guys: if you have to go out to get the tampons, rip off the box top from the old box and take it with you to match up. Because there are so many different types, and if you get the wrong one, she will kill you when you get home.
Oh yes, that's happened to me once before.
Yeah,
I got the same
Tampax. Then that's bad.
Well, I've gotten the same brand, the same style, but it was all a specific for a specific flow or whatever. And she's like, "I can't use these. I need one for a heavier flow." And I was like, "My bad."
Yep.
Well, it's funny you mention because like some of the slang terms I've heard are like Aunt Flo. And I was watching a British TV show, and they said Aunt Irma, and I was kind of boggled by that one.
Aunt what?
Aunt Irma.
See, I can't say I've heard that one. That must be an old one, but
well, it was on the IT crowd.
All right.
I've
Yeah,
never heard that one either.
I never got in. Yeah, I never quite got into that show, but
All I can think of is that, like,
That's,
oh my God.
that was that was one of Glynners, wasn't it?
With what?
The IT crowd. That was one of Glynners shows, wasn't it?
Lina shows?
Glinner.
Linehan. Yeah. Linner.
I don't
Graham
even know what
Linehan.
that means.
Graham Linehan, a British comedy writer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Came out.
I think he's Irish. But
came out
he's,
recently with some extremely transphobic bullshit,
really?
and has been called out,
shit,
and
has
was finally bounced off of Twitter.
yeah.
And his name on Twitter was ampersand Glinner, Glinner.
Glinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I if you'd said actor names, I might have been able to help you.
Yeah. Very, very talented comedy writer, but he's a transphobic piece of shit.
And his name Glinner has become a noun, an adjective, a verb. It's used in a lot of different ways these days. It'll probably make it to the Urban Dictionary.
Like junk shopping.
Yeah,
that is on Urban Dictionary now, isn't it?
It should be.
We'll have to sort that out, maybe if it's not.
You know what I managed to get onto Urban Dictionary is car theist. They accepted car theist as internet slang. And from your
What is car theist?
Car theist. Have you noticed how many theists will film videos sitting in their car?
Oh, okay. Car theist. I got it.
Yeah.
I assume that's because
I thought you were going to
they
say
know how
atheists
embarrassed
that
they
talk
be.
about cars, but
No. They like seriously, so many of them just sit in their car and film a video, and I'm like, are you hiding from somebody? Did this just occur to you in a parking lot? What the fuck?
No, I assume they do it because they know their family would laugh at them if they did it in the house.
I always imagine that they're sitting there driving their vehicle, and they just had this stroke of inspiration that it couldn't wait. They had to do it right then and there. So they pull out their phone, they sit there and put up the video thing, and they sit there and they had to get that message across, even though that message has been, done so many times to death. But you know what? It was a stroke of inspiration. God spoke to them.
And naturally, of course, they hold up their phone to film. They don't do it properly.
Yes.
Kate,
they have to do portrait mode.
It's a well-known attribute of flat earthers to make their videos that way, and always in portrait mode, never landscape.
No, I will say it's not always never, because there have been a few of them that have caught on to where people are like portrait mode, that they finally have done it in landscape. But that's a very, very small few of them.
I have yet to see this, so
I've seen one person do it.
I can't say too much because, like, my first 2 years on YouTube, literally all my videos were recorded on my phone. So,
it's not using the phone that's a problem. It's just whether or not you hold it upwards or
portrait mode.
sideways.
Like
there's one or two that are in
ever in
portrait.
charge of a cell phone company, like the phones will just not be able to film in portrait mode. You can still take pictures, stills, but you can't film in portrait mode. Not allowed.
I think there's a certain amount of generational ingrained behavior with that. Early cameras were always portrait mode for everything. That's just how they were built. The bellows type cameras and some of the box cameras did eventually have a side
Landscape.
I don't think that's it.
Viewfinder. But
I don't think that's it.
I think people are just used to it.
I think it's just, I hold my phone like this. So that's how I film, obviously, because I hold my phone like this. I think that's just what it is they're not thinking about it.
That's what I would think, that they're just not really aware that rotating the phone things would still work.
But there's so many times where someone films a video of like, oh, this person was in an accident, or that person's running from the police, or hey, look, a fire or something. And because they're not doing this, you can't tell what the hell's going on because they're doing this while they're running down the street. And it's like, how am I supposed to see a damn thing? All the action's over there. You know, it's like, do this and you can see shit. I don't know.
Did you see it? No, I didn't see it. It's true.
Oh, that's a harsh accusation.
Really?
Oh, that's a low blow.
Ooh.
That's like
nice.
That's like online. That's online dick flicking. Is what that is.
It's too funny.
Well, they do have those scopes that they use, but like in doctor's offices.
And before you ask, Robert, no, I never filmed myself shouting at a group of kids outside of school either. So, just for the record.
I wonder if that's on anybody's bucket list or if they just do it.
I don't know. I know that there's a...
Scream at school children. Check.
Well, some people know the reference to that. That's Flat Earther Nathan Thompson, who got arrested after he live streamed himself trying to like shout at a group of kids like who were at school and try to hand them Flat Earth leaflets. And then decides to finish his spiel by shouting out to a group of very young kids, "I love you." And I'm like, and you could see even like the Flat Earthers are like in this chat, it's like, Nathan, this isn't going to play out too well.
I have to admit, I ignore flat earthers for the most part. I find them quite dull. It's just not very interesting as far as like the stuff that they say they believe. It's like, okay, how earth-shattering. I
kind of like what's going on right now with the flat earthers. I mean, all of their points that they make, you know, that this is why we see the earth is flat, are all the same, always have been. But their explanations for why this is true is evolving. And I think some of them that are just absolutely ridiculously hilarious. They're so bad. And that seems to have been going on for 6-8 months now, where these new creative concepts of why this insanity is true is coming through. And it's just kind of fun.
I only watch flat earth videos for the laser-armed penguins.
I still would very much like to know why they think anyone has a conspiracy of a globe Earth. Like, to what end? What does anyone?
I can answer that. I can answer that one.
Okay.
Their whole entire. I've heard flat earthers, several of them, spout out that when someone finally asks them, okay, so the Earth is flat, and this is a big conspiracy. Why is this a conspiracy? And their whole entire reasoning is because they want to deny. They want to. They don't want the public knowing the truth because the truth has to do with Jesus and God and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I've heard several of them say that.
So it's an atheist conspiracy. It's
everything the government is atheistic or satanic.
It's either that or
so it's just a misinformation campaign. That's all it is.
Yes, yes, because the thing is with flat earthers, not only do they believe the flat earth, they also believe that the Illuminati is controlling everything and that they're the ones behind it all.
You know, I find it interesting how much credit they give to the people in power. Like you really think they're that smart that they not only come up with this great scheme, but they manage to get enough people to go along with it without rolling over on them and like doing a tell-all book or something. You really think they're that good? Because I don't think they're that good.
No, I mean that's the reason why I love the phrase, the fact that the only way a secret can be kept between 3 people is if 2 of them are dead. I mean it's basically that. I mean, because the bigger the conspiracy, the more people that have to be involved. The more people that are involved, the harder it is to keep that conspiracy a secret.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are just facts.
Yeah, the chance of keeping something secret is inversely proportional to the number of people who know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably why I'm willing to say that Oswald was acting alone. Is because if there was that much of a conspiracy, somebody would have come forward, even anonymously, to say, yeah, I was the real sniper.
Well, by this point, somebody would have said on their deathbed.
Right.
But I mean, my point being that like,
and that's
conspiracy.
But this is the kicker. This is the kicker here, because not only are these conspiracies, supposedly all the flat earthers and all the JFK conspirators, they're all there being the ones who are telling it out. They're the ones that are getting the secret out somehow, even though the great majority of them are not even involved in it. But, somehow they're the one, they heard it from somebody who must have heard it from somebody who must have heard it from somebody who was there or whatever. And so it's one of those things where they keep this going because of the fact that they believe that they hold the truth. And so they're the ones getting the secret out. And it's just fucking insane.
Yeah.
It must feel so special.
I think the frustrating thing I found talking to conspiracy theorists, though, is is when it always goes to, when it always goes to you to try and get them to substantiate their claims. It's always the go research it for yourself kind of thing.
I'll be right back.
That's one of that's what their favorite mate. It's like their mating call. Go do your research. The information's out there. I said, well, hold on, you're making the claim here. Justify your claim.
What I do is whenever they start doing that is I sit there and said, well, I have looked and I've only come across this. So if you could point me in the right direction, so that way I can look at the research that you've been looking at, and guarantee you every single time that happens, they still hold to the whole entire, well, go do your own research. It's like, I just told you every bit of research I've ever come across has pointed me in the opposite direction. So if you could give me a hint on where I need to go, and it's still go do your research. It's like,
I sort of ended up having to say that on Twitter to someone, except I gave them a link. I pointed them at something like you said, but it was mostly because to do this on Twitter, of all places, would have taken about 10, 11, 12 tweets to give them all the info. This is one of the reasons why I spent a lot of time not being on Twitter, is because I just couldn't type everything I wanted to say. So, I mean, had it been on Facebook, I would have given the full explanation plus the link. But
the trouble is, like, when you do one of those long tweets, you've got to do like 12 tweets or something. The trouble is, you've had like a dozen people already respond to 3 or 4 of your tweets by the time you finished, and have not seen the end of it, and they're already taking it out of context just because they've read the first 1 or 2 maybe.
And it doesn't matter how many times, because I've told somebody that they asked me for all the information I had on something because they didn't believe me or whatever. So I said, all right, but this is going to be a long thread, so please wait until after I'm done before you respond, so that way I'm not having to go off of every fucking thing. And so I did that. I sat there and I made tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet, and they don't pay attention to the part where I said, please wait until I'm done. They automatically start responding to every single tweet, and it's like, dude, why?
Yeah, and then even if you try and do it like the other way, like write a document out or something that you can post a link to, then they don't read it.
This is why I do this stuff on Facebook, because you can type and type and type and type and type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, some of these issues I want to discuss are so complicated that there's no way to not basically develop,
Kate, and the worst part about that, Kate, is though even though you are talking about discussion that has to do with a cumulative case where you have several different factors in it, what happens is that after you've written out that long, detailed, and precise, argument, they still will only respond to like 1 or 2 things out of it.
Although I admit that, like, someone wrote a wall of text at me earlier today, but because the very first 2 or 3 sentences completely misconstrued my point, like whether it was deliberate or not, it was totally a straw man. I was like, I'm not responding to anything until you get my actual position right. Here it is again.
Yeah.
Now start over. And they were like, how dare you not read my entire wall of text post? And I was like, well, but none of it will be in context. Anyway, I'm trying to
it's
fade
true.
fast here. I'm about to face plant, so I think I'm gonna go. I'll catch
Okay.
you. When you
I know.
sleep.
I think.
To be honest, I
think-
think I'm going to drop out in a sec as well. So,
All right. Well,
I
thanks for
think
coming
Kate and
by.
I are just tossing that yawn back and forth.
Yeah. Although I actually didn't see you yawning because my webcam is right there, and you are back here on the other side of it, so I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'm not
I
sure
saw
what
you
happened.
yawning. I was yawning in turn.
so have fun.
It's nice talking
I'm
to
not
you,
sure
Kate.
what happened to Jenny, but
you
maybe
later.
we should just shut it down here.
Oh, Ginny said she'll be back.
Oh, okay.
well, I'm going to drop out as well, guys.
I'm
Thanks
going.
for having me in Purple. So,
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in.
Nice seeing you, Jeff.
yeah, nice
See you in a
seeing
few
Pete.
hours, buddy.
All right. See you later. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I'm still here.
Okay. Yep.
I'll
So,
hang out for a minute till Jenny comes back with you guys, and then I'll go.
oh,
I usually do Dave's questions in the morning, so that's in like 5 hours.
yeah. Yeah, I try to
But
get
I
to
don't
bed
work
before
until-
sunrise, but that hasn't been working out
Yeah.
really well for me lately.
Yeah, no,
Well, what
I've
I've been
staying
doing
up
really,
later and
Purple, is
later.
I've been staying up. Yeah, I've been staying up to like around this time, sleeping for like 4 or 5 hours, about 4 hours. Get up in the morning, do Dave's questions, and I've been working a lot of nights because we're shorthanded. So we're hiring in people. So hopefully that'll stop soon. And then I've just been going back to bed for a few hours before I go to work. So this is about the only time I can get on the internet is after 11:30 at night, and then before 8 o'clock in the morning, because otherwise they're consuming all the bandwidth.
Well, I'm unemployed right now, so I'm just here, just here. That's
I
it.
don't know if I'm jealous or not, because I'm going to tell you where I live, the people that are getting paid, the unemployment they get paid, and the money the government give them if they're not working in general is way more money than what the fuck I make in a month. It's so frustrating.
Oh, I'm probably at the same thing. Like right now, I get about almost $2,000 in unemployment,
Oh yeah,
and that's every 2 weeks.
the people here are getting between $600 and $900 a month, depending on whether they have a child or not.
$600 or $900.
I mean, a
I'm
week.
thinking-
I'm sorry.
Well,
A week.
oh,
A week.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes more sense. Yeah, I get
So I'm
about
like, what the fuck am I working for?
yeah, I get a little over $4,000 a month.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I will
that's
say
more
that
than what
it's
they're
most
making, but
likely.
not by much.
I will say that it's most likely because of the fact that they also included the additional money for because of COVID. But yeah, and that is and that's actually roughly on par what I normally make in a month. Because
this is what pisses me off about it. This whole time that these people haven't been working because of COVID, they're making, like you are, all this money, and I've only gotten 2 checks. Or no. I've only gotten 1 check from the government for that $1,200 thing. And I've been working the whole fucking time. How come I don't get more?
Yeah, no,
What
I
do
will
you
say
think
that those who...
I don't need it?
I will say those
I have
who
a job?
I will say that those who are working essentials, or as the government calls them, essentials, I do believe that they should get way more money than what they're getting. Like,
oh yeah, we're getting screwed, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you should get what you normally make plus some, because of the fact that technically this is hazardous working conditions, because you have a greater chance of getting COVID than I do, because I stay at my house and you go out and you have to deal with public.
So the company I work for, because I work at a pharmacy, said, oops, sorry. They were like, oh, we're going to give you hazard pay. And then they tax it at 40 some odd %.
Yeah, no.
So for
in my opinion, hazard...
two months, they gave me $200 some odd. Oh,
yeah,
well, thanks.
In my opinion,
just took care of me if I get sick, assholes.
Yeah. In my opinion,
shit.
if you get hazard, if you get hazard pay, that should not be taxed whatsoever, because it's hazardous working conditions,
no,
and you can literally die.
See, but they consider it a bonus, and all bonuses get taxed 43%.
Yeah, and I agree
So,
with Doorknob
I didn't get
Head
shit.
there. I agree with Doorknob Head. Y'all are definitely expendable workers.
Yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Well,
So I literally, in order to get time off right now, because one, we're shorthanded, two, we're busy as fuck, and then they started doing COVID testing through the drive-through window. So now we're really fucking busy. So
yeah,
in order
and
to
you'll
get
have a
time
greater
off, I
chance of
literally have to
getting
get COVID.
exposed.
I have to get COVID.
Yeah.
That's the only way they'll give me time off right now, and they'll pay me for 2 weeks, and then they'll reassess it at 2 weeks and see if I should get paid more, and see if I'm okay to come back to work.
And the thing is with
that's how I'm
doing
getting fucked right now.
with doing drive-through COVID testing, you are also giving yourself a greater chance at getting it, since the fact that the person you're testing could have it.
Well, no, actually, how they do it is they have that little drawer that pops out, you know. So they put the testing kit in there, and the person does everything themselves. We don't touch it.
Oh, well, that's good.
We instruct them how to do it, instruct them how to put it up in their nose, how far, you break this, you put it in this, you roll it up, you drop it in the drop box, and then Quest Diagnostics comes through and they pick up the Quest Diagnostics people
Quest.
are fucked. Yeah,
Quest
I know about picks Quest. It up out of that box, and they have to put on like these long gloves and a mask and a face shield, and they pull it out of the box and they put it in this sealed fucking thing, and then they put it inside another box, and then they throw the gloves out, and like they have this whole process. So it's just, I mean, no, if they asked me to like, I thought that when they started talking about COVID testing, I thought they were going to have us do in the store, and I was like, how much more are you going to give me on the hour for it? It better be a lot of money to get me to do it. Yeah, it is a bonus. Yes, Doorknob, because they bent us all over and fucked us right up the. They should call it a Pegas.
Yeah, I don't get the 43% tax on a bonus. You know, shouldn't the tax just be based on, you know, whatever the total income is?
No, it's all bonuses are like that where I live. All the bonuses from that company are like that where I live. Even my boss, she gets a yearly bonus because she's the manager of the store. And so because our sales have increased so much, because we have a better crew now, but because of me and two other people, we're like awesome customer service people. Not to brag, but it's true. So our sales have really climbed since I've been there. Since about the time I was there for about a month and a half to now, our sales are double every day what they normally are, even through the COVID thing. So she stands to get between, depending on how much it is at the end of the year, she'll get between $7,000 and $9,000 bonus. Well, she only gets 47% of that, or 57% of that. Yeah. They tax 43% of it. It's ridiculous.
Damn.
That's why I'm looking for another job right now. One of the many reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was considered essential in the beginning. I was working at a power plant, and we were fixing a couple of the boilers on the different units out there, and
then you fixed them.
Yeah, and then we fixed them, and well, we didn't fix them all the way. Like some of the people stayed back because there was other things that needed to be done there, and but the great majority of the workforce got their walking papers. But at first, it was very interesting. The funniest thing that ever happened was whenever they first started doing the COVID, whenever COVID first started actually to become big in the area. They started asking questions, and the very first question they ask is if we've been anywhere, any other facility outside the United States within the last 14 days. And, you know, at first we said no. And then the very second day, they asked the same exact question. It's like, do you think that I traveled outside the United States within the day and came back?
Yeah,
like this is a normal thing
in 36 hours.
No, not even 36.
It takes 12 hours just to get there.
Yeah, Yeah, well, it was just fucking phenomenal. It's like, and then have you worked at any other facility? It's like, I've been here since like fucking February, guy. Like really?
No, I know. It's just insane.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is fucking crazy.
Yeah, but doing that type of work, it got me to the point where I can't do any other type of work. That's too good money.
Yeah. Well, I honestly, I took this job because I had applied with the TSA, and it's a government job, and I could retire, at a decent age. So I applied for them, and I took this job in the meantime because the application process with the TSA takes months.
Yeah,
it could take anywhere from 2 to 5 months. So I was like, well, fuck, I need an income. I moved here. I spent all my money building out my tiny home and moving and all this shit. So by the time I did all that, I was like, well, I have to have a job. So I got a job right away while I was applying with them. And they won't take me because of the hearing in my left ear. Because I'm like 25 decibels off of where I need to be. So
they'll never take me.
So there's no, then I'm just like, okay, here I am. So I told my boss, if you want me to stay, you're going to have to promote me. And she said, well, there's no doubt in my mind you can run your own store. And I'm like, well, yeah, I know I can. It's not that fucking hard. And so she promoted me up one level, and they gave me 68 cents an hour.
Ugh.
And I said, okay. She said, no, wait. I'll get you your own store. I'll put you in the training program, blah, blah, blah. What kind of raise is that? She said 10%. 10% raise. That's like a cost of living raise. That's not even, compared to what I was already making, that's not shit. I said, so you're going to give me this an hour? I said, you know what? Don't bother me putting me in the training program. There's no sense in wasting my time or the company's money. I'll be gone in a month and a half. And I thought she was going to cry because I do so much at the where I work. Yeah. But I just can't, man. I live alone. I'm single. I don't have any other income in my household. And I literally have chewed through all of my savings in the last 9 months, supplementing my fucking income, just so I could pay my truck payment and rent, for the spot I rent, and the payment on the personal loan I had to get to build out my tiny house, to buy everything. I just sucks up everything I have. I have nothing left. I haven't even gone out to eat in anywhere that costs more than $4.
Okay. Jenny's got a question.
I'm just wondering if you would be willing to tell us what company you work for.
I work for CVS.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's not surprising.
And they actually used to be a really good company, but 2 or 3 years ago they merged with Aetna. The big insurance conglomerate.
Yeah.
And when they merged with Aetna, they put a cap on everybody. There's a girl I work with. She has been in this store for 7 fucking years, and she hasn't got she's got a penny raise, 1 penny every year for the last 3 fucking years because of that. 1 penny. And when I found that out and what they wanted to pay me, I said,
I used to work at a grocery store that was in my local town, and it was literally one of those dead-end jobs. Like, the only way you can move up is if somebody died or left, and there's no raises. Like, you can work this. Like, there was one person who, she was a cashier there, that she had worked there for several years and not once got a raise. And I was like,
yeah,
no, I had to leave there. And that's when I joined the Army. Cause I was like,
yeah, I've done the Army thing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I sat there, and once I was, once I realized it was a dead-end job, I was like, yeah, nope, I got to make a change. And at that point in time, it seemed like the Army was the best thing to do.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you live in a small town.
It wasn't like I got this job planning on staying there. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know, the thing that kills me is because it costs so much to live here. The minimum wage here is about $12 an hour. But they only want to pay me a couple more dollars than that to run a fucking store. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah. No.
You want me to take on all that responsibility, all the paperwork, all the meetings, all the dealing with employees and all that shit. And for a couple more dollars an hour than that fucking cashier that's 19 years old that can't even ring up alcohol? No, fuck you. Yeah.
Wow, 19-year-olds can't ring up alcohol up there?
21.
Oh, fuck no, you have to be 21.
Oh, that's weird.
You have to be 21 everywhere. That's United States wide.
As far as I knew, whenever as long as you're 18, you can ring up alcohol. That's the way it was as far as here in Texas goes. I know that whenever I was 18, and I was working at Walmart, I could ring up alcohol. Anybody under 18 can't.
But in Texas, you can drink while you drive as long as you don't get drunk. So Texas is just different.
Right. All right, folks, I'm getting off of here.
Okay.
Purple, thank you so much for the stream and bringing me on. I appreciate that. And Jenny, was nice seeing you again, of course. And FA, it was nice talking to you for the first time.
Absolutely.
So
good to see you again.
I will have to say this before you go. Doorknob Head makes a funny point. In Mother Russia, you don't do the army. The army does you.
Yeah, the army does you in the U.S. too. Anybody hasn't been in the army, let me tell you, they do you too. Yeah.
Yeah, they do you pretty hard.
They do. Peace out, everybody.
Okay, catch you later.
Peace, love, dove.
So how's it going, Jenny?
All right. Just getting a little tired now, but you know.
Oh, everybody's getting tired.
It's only 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it is because you're in the correct time zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Everyone always sits there and tries to say every other time zone, but Central is the correct time zone.
It wouldn't be called Central if it wasn't.
Exactly.
Well,
see, everybody else, Jenny gets it.
We're more considerate. We're not putting anybody out by more than 2 hours.
Exactly.
It's a nice even number between here and London.
Mm-hmm.
6 hours.
I mean, so it's just the best time zone there is. Mm-hmm. Can't get anything better. And then I hear people over in Australia have like 30-minute time zones, and it's like, what?
There's one off the east coast of Canada. There's one island that's part of Canada that is a half an hour off.
That's just weird, in my opinion.
I guess they did that because it was the idea of having the sunrise be about the same time in every time zone. But
maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it really makes sense.
Yeah. People in Australia and that one specific part of Canada are weird.
There are places on the Asian continent where it's like 15 minutes, 45 minutes. Yeah. It's really
that is just insane. Like,
mm-hmm.
You'd have to, like, if you had to go from one spot to the other, you have to, account for the time zone changes. And that's just off.
Yeah, well,
it's a headache.
Some of the smaller countries in Southeast Asia that, like, have their own time zones that they'll be, like, 15 minutes off and go next to them.
Robert X, shut up, because no, GMT is not the correct time zone. You're outnumbered. But yeah, like,
they did kind of invent the clock over there.
Jenny, shh. We can't let them have this.
I don't have a problem with them owning GMT, especially now that we call it Universal Time instead of Greenwich.
Actually, the first practical clock was a water clock invented by Franciscan monks.
Well, there we go.
The only problem was that at night, if it got below freezing, the clock would stop.
Actually, China had a clock long before that, but they also had the day cut up into 10 hours or something like that.
Which would make more sense. I don't know why we got 12 hours. Why isn't it a decimal thing?
Why do we have 12 hours?
Yeah.
Because it takes 12 hours for or 24 hours for the sun to go around.
But the length of an hour is arbitrary.
No,
why
it's
did
not.
they divide the day into 12 hours instead of dividing it into 10 hours?
An hour is 60 minutes. How many degrees in a circle? 360.
Which also doesn't make sense. Why is it 360 degrees in a circle? Why isn't that metric?
Okay, physically,
because of math.
Physically take a circle and divide it in half, and then divide that in half, and then divide that in half, and then divide that in half, and you end up with 360.
Because of math.
Yeah, they're just making it harder to do the calculations with all the odd numbers.
Yeah, they're not so bad.
Although actually we'd do better if we were on a base 12 instead of base 10. There's more even divisions.
Yeah, well, I don't understand any of that base 10, 12, 50, 100 stuff, so don't bother my brain with that, okay?
Both of y'all have been rattling my brain. I've just been over here trying to be like, cause math.
And that's math, and if you make me do math, then my tits hurt.
Well, if you make me do math, my tits hurt too. So, I mean, I'm just saying. Yes, so frustrated atheist time. Yes, that is Central Time. It's my time, and I enjoy that time because it's central.
Okay, so we have a new standard that will now be called fat time.
Fat time?
Frustrated atheist, FAT.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm good with that. So that way, whenever I get older, people will sit there and be like, oh yeah, well, what did you do in your life? They named a time zone after me.
I used to have this beautiful watch that was, the face of it was an identical copy of the face of a BMW tachometer from one particular model. And of course, you can tell time because just the position of the hands, because all the numbers on it were a tachometer. And people would look at it and say, what the hell's that? And I'd say, well, that's metric time.
That's metric time. I love it.
About what metric time is and how it works and how it relates to 12-hour time. And, of course, it was all bullshit. But you say it quick enough and with enough alleged detail and people believe it.
Yep.
Not only detail, but just the confidence. Just the confidence in your voice as you say it. They'd be like,
absolutely.
Oh, this sounds like a real thing.
And it was just a riot. I could get people to just suck it.
Well, I think that most people go along with things like that because they don't want to admit you might know something they don't.
Yeah, they don't want to appear stupid, so they just agree. Like, oh yeah, I've heard about metric time. Yeah, it's like in your head, you're like, dude, I'm making this shit up on the fly. What the fuck are you been talking about now?
Oh no, I never told anybody that I conned about metric time that it was a bullshit. I left every one of them thinking it was real.
Oh no, that's why I said in your head you're saying this.
Oh man,
in your head you're like, dude, this is all bullshit. Look like the fuck, but they're over. Yeah, I think I've heard of metric time. It's like, yeah.
So then they'd ask me, well, what time is it now? And I'd have to look at the watch to see what tachometer, RPM numbers it was closest to. And I never came up with a pattern of how to describe that. And so I would, sometimes it would be something like, well, let's see, it's base 10, 8.55 degrees, and okay.
Oh, okay. Like they understood a word of it.
Yeah, because that's one's pointing at the 5, one's pointing at the 8.
So they're like, oh yeah, that makes total sense.
Wow.
I don't know what happened to that watch.
I always tell people that my grandkids, if I ever have any, are going to be so fucked up when it comes to history, because I'm just going to start making shit up on the fly. So that way, whenever they get to the point where they actually learn this shit, or they actually start saying, maybe we should fact check what Grandpa says, that they'd be like, Grandpa, you said this happened during this time frame, but look at this. And I'd be like, oh, well, it looks like your Google machine got it wrong, didn't it? I'm just gonna keep fucking with the younger generations in my family as much as possible.
I used to try to teach my nephew the wrong name for body parts. Teach him that his elbow is his lips, or no, that's your lips. It's your lips. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. He doesn't remember any of that, thank God.
My kids are gonna be like, my grandkids are gonna be like, so Grandpa said that World War II happened back in 1995, and he was the youngest soldier in there, being 5 years old. They're gonna be like, yeah, I think your grandpa's telling stories on you. No, my grandpa said this was real.
I think I remember telling a kid, I don't think I remember, I know I remember telling a kid that somebody who was born on February 29th isn't allowed to count the years, that they have to go by the 29th. And so they really are only 1 year older every 4 years.
Yes.
And so like when they get to like 18, they have to be 18 actual 29ths, and oh man, they're really old. No, they're only 18. It's yeah, suck that one in, kid.
Yeah, I always love because as a kid, I actually was told that once, was that somebody who was born on a leap year, who was born on February 29th, was that they only could celebrate they only grew every 4 years, like, to number 2, number 3, number 4. And so it threw me off whenever I was younger. I was like, but no, that can't be right. But I was like, but their birthday's on the 29th, so how do they age? And then I got older and I was like, wow, I was a fucking stupid kid.
I am so bummed with this virus thing. I grew up in Milwaukee, and I love Milwaukee. It's a great city, and it's been steadily progressing to its major city status for my whole life, and has been very deliberate and careful in how it grows and things. And for it to have nailed the convention, the Democratic convention this year, is just like something that people in the city had been dreaming about for 20, 30, 40 years, to bring recognition to the city, and to that it's up in the status of cities now, and then to be it this year, and that it's canceled now. And all these merchants and nightclubs and bars and stuff in the area, I know some of these people, and they're just so fucking disappointed. It was going to be such a boon. 15,000 people are going to come and spend a week hanging out at your place and drinking. You're going to be busy for 24 hours a day for a week, and everybody's fucked. It's just so sad. And that it also happens to be the same damn year that the Milwaukee Bucks are having a year to beat everybody in the league ever. They clinched their playoff berth before the quarantine happened. They won that many games. They were not even halfway through the season, and they already had nailed or guaranteed themselves a playoff berth.
And then COVID-19 said denied.
Yeah, and so now they're getting fucked for the NBA championship, which they haven't had since 1971. Oh man,
sucks for Milwaukee right now.
Yeah, it's been a rough year.
See, I live in, as everyone knows, I live in Texas, and we're one of the states that, you know, sit there and probably we're the first states to be like, this is a hoax. Then it happens, they're like, oh shit. They're like, okay, but you know, I ain't gonna wear no mask. And then they made it mandatory to wear a mask. And then freaking Abbott sits there and says, hey guys, back in May, they're like, hey, we're gonna reopen now. And people who were smart enough to know better were like, I don't think you should. But we're still like, fuck it, we do what we want. And so we opened up and more cases happened. And well,
Yep.
it's just all great. We're just. I'm not gonna say that Texas is dumb, but Texas is pretty dumb.
Texas hasn't been the same since you lost Ann Richards and Molly Ivins.
I don't know who either one of those people are.
Ann Richards was a governor of the state of Texas, and
See,
Molly
that's
Ivins
how little.
was one of the most kick-ass columnists ever. She was just so tough.
Okay, Ann Richards.
Smart.
Now that I've the name rattled in my head, I remembered something about Ann Richards, but I paid little attention to politics, especially here in Texas. That people were like, "Do you know that this is who the government is in your state?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know that. Sure. Don't ask me specific questions, but yes." It gets to the point where I'm just like, it doesn't matter because we have too much of the same here in Texas that it's all bad and bad and bad. That's the easiest way to explain it. Texas's government is so fucked up.
No, darn I never actually met Laverne and Shirley because they're fictional. But I've met a number of real people who are similar, but not quite that stupid. Laverne and Shirley was very insulting to a lot of Milwaukeeans. People actually started believing for a while that Laverne and Shirley was what Milwaukee was all about, and that's just not the way it was.
Speaking
that
of,
happens with any popular TV show.
Yeah. Although Happy Days was also Milwaukee, and that kind of feeling didn't develop from that show.
Speaking of people who insulted towns and whatnot, one of the members of ZZ Top actually bought this house over in a small town called it's not Bay Cliff. God, I keep forgetting the name of this freaking town, but it's a small town. It's kind of like an unincorporated type of town, and he bought a house there. Well, the people there ran him out because he kept talking shit about the people there and the town itself and everything, even though he bought the house there and was trying to live there, but they ran him out because he kept talking shit about them.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't shit where you eat.
Right? I mean, it's like if I came up to Milwaukee and just been like, man, this place fucking stinks. Like, what is that smell? God, the people here suck. And someone's eventually going to hear me, and they're going to be like, maybe he should leave.
That smell would be either the tanneries if it's from the north. It would be Red Star yeast if it's from the west, and it will be the stockyards if it's from the south.
Here I am making up just a random thing, and you're like, oh, that smell must be from here.
Yeah, and if it's dead fish, it's from the lake.
I just love it because I'm just like, I just made up a random thing off the top of my head, and you're like, oh yeah, if that smell's coming from here.
I suspect you could do that with most cities.
Oh yeah, there's like, for instance,
smells.
if you're in Texas City, Texas, most likely the smell is coming from the refineries.
There's a section of Milwaukee. It's actually a suburb of Milwaukee called West Allis, and it's right around the intersections of like between 69th Street and maybe 66th Street, right around National Avenue. And every time you drive through there, it smells like that smell that you get when you're overheating something electrical.
Oh yeah.
Well,
you got a transformer or something that's about to burn out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Russ, you know what we say in the Midwest about how to find Texas.
How's that?
You go south until you smell shit, and west until you step in it.
Hey, accurate, but hey.
Oh gosh.
You know you're in Houston if not only are you stepping in, smelling it, but you hear shit.
Hey, you know where I live, Russ?
Where's that?
Houston.
Really?
Yep.
You'd lie.
No, I live in Houston.
Houston what?
Minnesota.
Ah. Well, that's pretty interesting. I actually, to be honest, I've heard of other towns having the same names as some of the towns here in Texas, but that's the first time I've ever heard of a Houston somewhere else.
Well, we're the good Houston. Our population is 900.
Oh wow! Wow, that's actually a very small town.
Yeah, we don't have any crime. Nothing.
Yeah, it's funny because have any of y'all been to? We have Tacoma here. I think they do something with newspapers. Anyway, it smells bad, and we refer to it as the Tacoma Roma. As a matter of fact, we have a Pasadena here in Texas, and it's got the nickname Stinkadena. It used to have the nickname Pass the Get Down Dina because of the big bar that was there that was from was it Boogie Nights or whatever, one of the John Travolta movies. Some Rhinestone Cowboy maybe or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that bar, it used to be known as Pass the Get Down Dina. And some people still refer to it as that, but the other nickname is Stinkadena, and that's because it has a lot of refineries as well, and it always has a bad smell around it. But yeah, have either of y'all been to like Columbus, Georgia?
Nope.
Well, Columbus, Georgia is it's got Fort Benning there. And it's a fairly huge town. Like it's really spread out, and it's got a lot of different areas. Well, it's got I was talking to a guy from there, and my graduating class in Santa Fe, Texas, was about 300, and he was like, the guy was like, well, that's like here in Columbus, it was 300. I was like, how many high schools do y'all have? And he's like, we have about like 3 or 4 of them. And I was like, yeah, and if you take 300 times about 3 or 4, that's how many of a graduating class Columbus has. I was like, we only have 1 high school, and it only had 300. And he was like, oh, wow. When I told that story once, somebody else came up to me and was like, yeah, our graduating class was like 90. And I was like, shut up!
Yeah, where I was living in Michigan, I'm sure the graduating class was under 100 now. Because the entire town was only 3,000 people. And they only managed that because back around 2005, they merged together 3 adjacent towns.
Oh, that's one of the reasons why Santa Fe has such a huge population, because there were 3 unincorporated towns of Altaloma, Arcadia, and Algoa. And they merged together, and they got the name Santa Fe due to the railroad company that runs through there.
Hey, Stool.
Hey, Stool.
Hey.
What's going on?
I've just woken up, so I'm like not kind of with you, but bear with me.
It happens.
UK time.
Yeah, I suppose it's about the time for people to be starting their workday there.
Oh, Purple's got a new Ovi. That's cool. Yeah, I've got a really bad habit when I wake up and I see a link, I click it. I'm really bad like that.
Yeah, see a link, you just join it.
Yeah, you know. This could have been dirty porn for all I knew.
It could have been.
I just click things.
Yeah, it is a very bad habit. You know, I mean, we could all been here showing off circle jerks and stuff, and you're just, let me go ahead and click on this.
Yeah, you know, now I'm thinking that before I go to bed each night, I'm going to plant a porn link in Stool's chat.
Well, now that I'm here, I do realise that Jenny's here, so yeah, this is going to turn out bad.
Well, I was just getting ready to take off, actually.
Yeah, she was saying she's tired.
Oh.
Yeah, it was long before you got here, so don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Although now that you're here, it just makes more sense. But.
Yeah. You see, what really was happening was she sat there and she was wide awake, and then you came in and she's like, "Oh man, I gotta get some sleep. I'm so tired."
That's what happens. Yeah. Story of my life.
No. And just maybe an hour ago, Purple was thinking of shutting it down.
Stool?
Oh yeah.
One of our favorite people is in the chat. Spooky Bed Hair.
Oh.
Is asking who is that Stool fellow? I've never seen him before.
Oh,
care to give him a little introduction?
Yeah, you know what? Spooky's like really weird. Spooky's a very scary person.
No, I was suggesting that you introduce yourself to them.
I don't need no introductions. You know, I am what I am.
He's a very stable milking stool.
Who sang that song? I am what I am.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
Oh, God. Google it, you lazy fuckers.
Look, I'm on my phone, and if I exit out of this, it's going to close me out altogether. I'm not looking up shit.
Oh, I'm not Googling. I've literally just woken up 2 seconds ago. I'm not Googling no fucking thing. I am what I am.
Google comes up with Ava Max.
Oh, Jesus, you people are so shit.
I have no idea who that is.
I don't know either.
Shirley Bassey?
Oh, Shirley Bassey's quite cool. You Americans don't really know who she is, do you?
No.
Yeah, I've heard Shirley the name. Bassey? I'm not good with celebrities anyway.
She's a very talented singer.
Yeah, she was really good. Back in the 70s, she was very, very good.
How about one of my favorites? Joan Armatrading.
Nope.
Do you know that person at all, Stu?
Yeah, I do, but you know, I'm really pissed off with you guys because I gave you a little clue and you all got it completely wrong.
Well, Google got it wrong. I did what you said, and I tried searching Google.
And you call yourselves Americans. Okay, Spooky. Before I give the answer out, type it inside chat. Let's tell the Americans who sang I Am What I Am. We'll wait for Spooky. It usually takes
is it an American singer?
Sounds like a Disney tune.
What the fuck is wrong with you people? It's like the most famous song ever, and you don't know who the fuck sang it?
It's the most famous song ever, and I've never heard it.
You people are so shit. We'll wait for Spooky. Spooky will Google.
Maybe it's
Yeah, that's true, Robert. Popeye. Okay, fuck off. What is wrong with you? But you know what? I hate time zones because you lot are like 7 hours behind me. So I'm in the future.
Look.
I've just
Look,
woken
Popeye
up.
did sing that.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
God,
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I don't remember the rest. I fight to the finish.
Why are you all
The
so
thing is,
shit?
I'm strong to the finish because I eat me spinach.
And I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Boop, boop.
Boop, boop. Olive Oil was his sister, you know.
Actually, you know, we can sing that song without getting into trouble.
His real name was Popeye Oil, and Olive was his sister.
Oh.
And then they changed it.
And Brutus was actually their uncle.
Oh wow, that makes it even more creepier.
And brutal, and that's why Brutus was always after Olive Oil, because he was pedophilic.
And
they like to keep it in the family.
People.
Yeah. Wimpy was the patriarch of the family.
I'm pretty sure none of this was in the TV show.
Oh yeah, you could see it in the, you know, it was kind of like what the unspoken, between the lines kind of backstory, but it was there.
Reminds me of the Larry the Cable Guy joke. Anybody gonna fuck my sister, it gonna be me. That's what Popeye thinks.
I'm gonna stop talking this way now.
Have you ever heard that joke?
No.
You know, that's why a Southerner feels cheated if on his wedding night he finds out his bride's a virgin. If she wasn't good enough for her own family, she's not good enough for me.
Oh,
hey, I'm Southerner, thank you very much.
Well, you're Texas. That's not quite the same thing.
It's a different kind of warped.
Yeah.
Let's see, we're all up here from the north. We're all convinced that the sun is what makes the people in the south absolutely insane. That there's just nobody from the south who's not completely bug fuck nuts.
Well, yeah, you've all had your brains baked.
Yep.
Well, I'm not going to say that's accurate, but you know, it might be getting pretty close to accurate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, I'm from the south, and you know, we do get a lot of sun down here, and yeah, that's we are pretty crazy. So there's a correlation, is what I'm saying. I'm not going to say the correlation equals causation, but in this case, it might. It might.
Well, I'm gonna go because I really want to get some sleep.
Okay.
Look, Janine, sleep is for the dead.
Sleep is for the weak and feeble.
You know,
and
can
I'm
you
feeling
can you
both
get
weak,
some
feeble,
sleep
and
and
dead.
bring me some?
Yeah, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and so I have to be
Oh,
bright
well,
and chipper and
that case,
pretty
go.
and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know how that goes when you get out of
Yes.
there. I shall. I'll give you
hopefully
a full
it's not
report.
too bad.
Like I say, you know, if you're, I can understand you might be stressed out waiting for the test results, but you know, any hour of the day, there's always somebody here.
Indeed.
Just tag us all in a post on Twitter, and we'll get it.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Spooky.
We'll take shifts doing a Virgil.
Oh,
You know,
no, you don't want to do Virgil that often.
I've obviously missed most of this stream and conversation because I have literally just woken up. So I'm not with you. I'm on another planet. So I'm now going to sing a song to you. Are you ready, boys and girls?
Yes, sing it.
Go for it.
I get a bit weird when I wake up. I am what I am. I am my own special creation. So come take a look. Give me the hug or the ovation. There you go. That's all you're getting.
Yeah, that if that's supposed to be popular or well known, yeah, no, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, fuck you. It's like the most famous song ever, so you're shit.
Yeah, I think that's only famous in your opinion.
It's famous everywhere.
It's
Anybody
not famous
knows
here.
this song?
It's famous on a small island drifting around in the Atlantic.
Everybody on the planet knows this song.
Evidently not.
Oh, what is wrong with your stream people, Purple?
I'm going to be nice and let that go.
Don't be nice. There's something very, very wrong with these people. They don't understand beautiful classic songs.
No, I meant I was going to be nice. You just said stream people, and you're in here more than just about anybody else now.
Oh, this is true. Yeah. Okay. Let that go. We'll let that go.
Art Against Ignorance says they want an encore.
Okay. If Purple puts it, oh fuck me, I can't speak.
No, I'm not gonna fuck you.
I mean, if you put a few drinks in me, I may.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Oh, you dirty, dirty bastard, Purple. Okay, now I have to do it.
Jenny, you are going to sleep now because you have a doctor's appointment.
Yeah, I do. I have to go. Good night, all.
So good night, Jenny. You have a great
Bye-bye.
night.
I will.
Good night.
Take care, Jenny.
Yeah, but those occasions come few and far between.
Damn it. Why do you people not know this song? This is so weird.
Because it's a not famous song?
It's the most famous song ever.
Apparently not.
Oh, I hate you. Right, side chart, help me out.
Even the side check doesn't know.
There's got to be some fucking normal person on this stream.
Well, it's not you. It's not me. I already know that.
Aunt Jer, you know the song. Come on, help me out here. I'll sing it. If you know the fucking song, I'll sing it. This is my new job, Purple. When somebody's been streaming for 3 hours, I'm just going to jump in and make your heads hurt.
And Doorknob Head's correct. He said, "This is America. We don't do normal."
Yeah, I was just waiting for that one to come up. The StreamYard chat's a bit behind the YouTube chat. It takes it a while to come up where I can click on it.
Oh, I'm only looking. I can only see the StreamYard's chat.
It's a famous song, Spooky. Okay, I need Spooky in the room. Come on, Spooky, let's sing it together. Come on, boy. Come on.
And Andrew is correct by saying it's not as famous as you think it is.
It's fucking the most famous song ever. What the hell is wrong with you people?
Apparently not.
Oh my gosh, you are so weird.
It can't be that good if the person with the pretty kitty icon hasn't heard of it.
Jesus Christ. You know, within 10 seconds, I've found 2 incredibly famous superstars who've sang this song. You lot are weird. Never mind. Anyway, carry on with your conversation. I will now continue my relaxation.
Well, you've got me curious. Who sings the song now?
I'm not telling you anything. You're too lazy, American.
Oh, you poor sport.
You know, one of the most famous people that sang this song is, and I can't remember her fucking name. What's she called with the black hair? She was the mother of the person. Oh, damn.
Oh, that really narrows it down. A woman with black hair who once had a baby.
Yeah, she's got black hair and she has a nose. What was she called?
Did she have eyes?
Yeah, 2.
Oh man, this narrows it down even better.
I'm going to take a random guess that Cher fits all that criteria.
No, not Cher. She's a dick. No.
Not Cher. She's a dick.
Yeah, but she has black hair and she's a mother.
You remember that? You remember that
if I could
woman?
Turn back time.
Oh, fuck off. Mute it, Purple. Mute that fucker. You remember the woman who was in The Wizard of Oz?
Talking about Judy Garland?
Yeah. What's her mother called?
Oh, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, Sloth Girl would know this. I have to look it up.
What is wrong with you people? I'm just literally giving you random fucking easy things to answer.
Well, like, I didn't ever sit there and say, oh, look at Judy Garland. I must know what her mother is, or who she is, or what she does.
Her mother is like one of the most famous people on the planet.
Okay, Judy Garland's mother is Ethel Marion Milne.
No, that is not fucking correct.
Well, then I've got the wrong Google. Because my Google is not giving me any of the answers that you think it should be giving me.
Am I on a different planet today? Because something... Am I still asleep? Is this what's happening?
John Barrowman.
I think I must be dreaming.
That's what Doorknob Head said was John Barrowman. Her daughter is Liza Minnelli.
Yes! Fuck you, thank you. Liza Minnelli.
Yeah, you asked me who her mother was.
Yeah, not her daughter.
I said mother. Who is Judy Garland's mother?
Yes.
Yeah, Liza Minnelli is her daughter, not her mother.
Oh, okay. I fucked up, sorry.
Doorknob Head also said Gloria Gaynor. I am what I am.
Gloria Gaynor. Thank you, Doorknob.
The name sounds vaguely familiar, but don't really know who it is. But I suck at celebrity stuff anyway. Mostly because I don't care.
I kind of don't give a shit either, Purple, but this is the most famous song ever. And when I get 5 people who give me the correct answer, I will literally put a dress on and I will fucking sing it.
Okay, well, Doorknob Head said it. I said it. Purple said it. Robert said it.
Oh,
so you just need one more.
Yeah. Anyway, Purple's been streaming for quite a long time now, so I think it's time to say goodbye.
Yeah, been going more than 3 hours here. It probably would be a good idea if I could try to lay down before the sun starts coming up.
You know, the best version... I've actually got so many tabs open right now. Damn it. The best version of the song is... what's she called again? Judy Garland's daughter, Liza Minnelli.
Yeah. Liza Minnelli, yeah.
That is the most...
Oh, and yours makes 5. So you had to put on a dress.
Liza Minnelli. I can't spell Minnelli, but whatever.
I don't think I've ever heard of Liza Minnelli sing.
Oh, she sang in a couple of the movies she's been in.
Oh, no, I'm just saying...
She's a singer.
Yeah, I know she's a singer, but what I'm saying is the only time I've ever heard the name is in the movie School of Rock with Jack Black. So I've never heard her sing.
There's something very weird going on today. Am I in a coma? There must be something weird going on. Maybe I've got the COVID and I'm in a coma in hospital because you people are weird today. You've never heard of this. Good grief.
Well, maybe you are in a coma. Maybe we're just an illusion of yours. You never know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm being a good boy, so I can't share this with you because Purple will get in trouble with the YouTubes. But, yeah.
So I guess just everybody look up Liza Minnelli, I Am What I Am. And there you go.
Yeah. That's how advanced we are these days. We say,
I was
go
actually
to the
trying to be
Google.
nice. I was trying to look up something for Stool on IMDb, but I can't find it.
What?
Oh, I just vaguely recall that Liza Minnelli was in some movie about mermaids.
Yay!
No, Frustrated Atheist
But I
is
can't
not
find it.
only 17.
We do like mermaids.
Frustrated Atheist is actually 30.
This is actually quite true,
well,
yeah.
because this is what kind of threw me, because I'm not one of the gays, but it's quite a collide. Damn, I can't speak.
I have to say, I have never seen a drag show that did not have a Liza Minnelli impersonator. I think it's required by law.
Yeah, I am not gay, so that definitely clears it up of why I didn't know who Liza Minnelli was.
We need one of the gays. Purple, you're so fucking anti-gay. Why are there no gays in your stream?
Oh,
I'm
hashtag
like
cancel
gay.
Purple.
I'm like half gay. I guess I don't have
Like
any gays. And the lesbian left, so.
It's one of those things. What do they call it? An icon. I think she used to be an icon for the gays. I'm using air quotes when I say the gays, so I'm not being patronising.
Yeah,
please.
As Andrew said, it was Liza and Cher. Both of them are icons for gay people.
Yeah, they were icons. Yeah, and so that was a really iconic song, and I'm really surprised that you guys did not know this. In fact, when you add the description to this screen, Purple, because you know damn well that 100 people are going to watch it after, add it in. I am what I am, and the gays love me, and I'm still using air quotes when I say the gays. I'm not fucking homophobic, you know this.
Hold on, Spooky Bennett just said Purple isn't gay, but his boyfriend is. Oh, I love that.
I've got one of those itchy feelings in my bones, Purple. You know how this happens when I really want to sing something, but I can't because the YouTubes will police.
YouTube will sit there and hear that and say copyrights claim.
Yeah, I so want to sing this fucking song right now. That's kind of what happens when I wake up. I want to sing songs. Technically, you're allowed to sing the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, it varies a bit what people say, but yeah, if it's generally less than 10 seconds, I've heard.
Legally, for copyright
well, I guess
reasons,
it takes 10 seconds for the bots to catch it, is what it is. If it's less than 10 seconds, then the bots aren't going to catch it.
For copyright reasons, if
Andrew has a longer list of the. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, because this is your show, Purple. Legally, and Yeah, legally, you can play the first 5 seconds of a song before you have to pay for it. That's how copyright works. Oh, Aunt Jerry's correct. Yeah, Barbara Streisand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. Was she has a longer list of gay icons with Barbara Streisand, Bette Midler, Judy Garland, Cher, Liza Minnelli, Lady Gaga.
Oh, maybe I did a boo-boo. Who sang I Am What I Am? Maybe it was Barbara. No, it was Liza Minnelli. Damn, my brain doesn't work when I wake up, and I've not even got my glasses on. I do like Lady Gaga, though.
I do like Lady Gaga.
Oh, yeah.
I at first I didn't, because some of the stuff she sang was kind of annoying at first, but then it grew on me.
Purple will not know what we're talking about.
No. Purple, do you know who Lady Gaga is?
Well, I know who she is. I can't really think of anything she sang, but I can.
She
I do
sings
remember
songs like
visuals, some of the bizarre outfits she's worn.
She sings songs like Poker Face.
Oh, listen, I can't do it now. I'll do it when you're not live, but there's a wonderful song that I love by Lady Gaga, and I was very late to the Gaga.
Which song?
It's the one where she, damn it, it's the prison one. I don't know the name because I'm old, but
I haven't seen music videos, so I don't know either.
Oh, okay. The video, this is why I love it, because the video is utterly fucking gorgeous. It's a fucking splendid video. I'll leave this to side chat before I get Purple in trouble and break copyright fucking rules, whatever. But I love that song. It's so cool. For the people who are listening, it's the one where she's in prison, and at the end she has a special guest who is also a famous celebrity, and they do a thing in the car. And the video is so glorious. It's absolutely beautiful. Dawn Knobhead will know what I'm talking about. Telephone. Is that the one? Telephone? I don't know.
Telephone? I don't think I've heard that one.
I am not the best person to ask about popular songs. I've no idea. Poker Face. Yeah.
That's how do you wake up Lady Gaga? Poker Face.
That would also work for the gays.
Doorknob Head said telephone. Doorknob Head said telephone with Beyonce.
I think Doorknob Head is correct. Yeah.
Probably so.
Do we now give him a prize?
Yeah.
He gets 500 God points.
Badumtish. I totally love that video. I'm not into super things that the young people. Actually, that song is now probably about 15 years old, or 20. I don't know.
Oh, has Lady Gaga been out that long?
Oh, she's super old now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
God, it doesn't feel like she's been out that long.
I think she's been performing about 20 years.
Mm-hmm. This is true. I missed Lady Gaga because I was busy having a life and a fucking marriage and kids and what have you. Well, so I only discovered.
You also got to think. I was 10 years old whenever if she's been out for 20 years, I was 10 years old whenever she got her start. So I wasn't listening much to that.
Okay. Yeah. According to Wikipedia, Lady Gaga has been performing since 2001.
Yeah.
Okay, so wow. So I was 11.
Stage. Yeah, she's been performing on stage for 20 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, dang, I was 11.
There were very few songs that I would actually take the. Oh, I just would never download a song or buy. No, I bought it. That's the fucking thing I did. I actually bought a couple of her songs. About 2 years ago, when I discovered that, what did Doorknob call it? Telephone. When I discovered that song, I downloaded the fucker and I bought it. That's how, and I never buy songs, but that's how much I love that song. And the video is so super cool.
And if you ever get a chance, look up Lady Gaga, what she looks like without her makeup. She's actually not that bad looking of a woman.
Yeah, Wikipedia had a picture of her there. Even without her makeup, though, she looked kind of like an anime character.
In my opinion, her without her makeup, she looks very approachable. Like she's someone that you could actually have a decent conversation with and not be intimidated by.
Okay, the picture I just saw, she reminded me of the bad guy from, what's that one? The anime thing about the cards.
About the cards? Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! That's the one I was trying to think of.
Which one? Which bad guy, though?
The white-haired bad guy from the first couple of seasons.
Maximilian Pegasus.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really remember that much about that either. It's just something that one of my daughters was into, so I kind of watched it with her.
Well, this was, of course, back during the afternoon cartoons, and because there was several stretches where we didn't have cable, this came on what used to be the WB, which turned into CW, but it was the WB at the time, and so it was one of the cartoons I used to watch when I was younger.
Yep.
The best bit about, I'm not going to stop talking about this now. Never did I think I'd wake up and talk about fucking
Lady Gaga?
Gaynor and Lady Gaga. What the hell is happening to me? I blame Purple, of course. You're such a bad influence on me, Purple. But the best thing that I love about that video that you're discussing, Telephone, with Beyonce, it's such a gorgeous video. It really is lovely.
I'll have to take a look at it.
You want to lick the video. It's so sexy. And the really cool thing, you've got to remember that I went for like about 10 years without not being part of popular culture because I was married. And so when I saw that video, it's the bit at the end that's really cool. And it's where Lady Gaga and Beyonce are in the car. I just love it so much. We can't show it, obviously, for reasons, but it's a really cool video. And, I'm old, so if I can say it's good, I think you'll agree.
You know what movie I watched yesterday that I hadn't watched in forever, and I absolutely love it? The movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
Oh,
I
there's
don't
something.
really know that one.
I don't know it either, but
It's what it's about is it's about Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. They play characters from the 1930s, and they get sentenced to life in prison in a Mississippi jail, and they're from New York City, and it's about their life in the jail, and it's freaking hilarious because there's just so much shit that goes on in the film. Like there's one part where there's this big black guy who sits at the end of this table, and he asks Martin Lawrence, he's like, "Hey, you gonna eat your cornbread?" And he's like, "What, this cornbread?" And Martin Lawrence's like, "You know what? No." He's like, "You can have it." And then Eddie Murphy chups in and goes, No. He can get his own damn cornbread. You know what? You go over there and get your own damn cornbread." It's like, no. It's like, look, I'm a grown-ass man. If he wants my cornbread, he can have my cornbread. It's like, no. Because if he takes your cornbread, he takes everything. It's like, no, he gonna eat his cornbread. You have your own.
Yeah,
and
okay.
It just goes on, and it's freaking hilarious. But
I've just got to, thank you, Purple. The thing is, the best version of that video, don't do a YouTube search, actually, because The best video is on Vimeo. So do a Google and watch that. And if you've got your eyes on, your spectacles, you'll love it. You'll totally love it. It turns me on. Hey, we've gone from The Wizard of Oz to Lady Gaga.
Hey, you know, she's not really my normal type, but I have to say Beyonce's pretty hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a good-looking woman.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people call her their queen.
Yep.
I think there's something Frustrated just said, or kind of alluded to. There's something really good about going back to watching old classic films.
Yeah.
I've no idea how he does it because he's literally like 12 years old, but Frustrated, Purple will get me. There's something really good about going back to watching old good films.
Hey, I like my old films too. I go as far as I'm one of the younger people who actually enjoys the black and white films.
Oh, just click on that, Purple. Aunt Jerry's helping us. Vivo, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I totally love that video. I really
All right.
do.
I had a friend of mine who was so ticked off when she saw one of the Shirley Temple movies because, you know, she was all upset that they had colorized it. And it's like, no, they didn't colorize it. She finally realized that until she was 19, they only had a black and white TV.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who absolutely went crazy over that type of stuff because, you know, from very young age all the way up until their sometimes even mid-20s, they've only had black and whites, and when they finally get their first
one of
color
her favorite
TV,
movies, and she never realized it was in color.
Yeah,
I've got a little list of things that I need desperately to watch. Classic films that are obviously too old for Frustrated to even fucking know about because you're only 12, so fuck off. But
I'm 13 and now I'm 12. Oh, man, I just keep getting younger and younger.
There are some classics that we all need as adults to sit down and watch, and Purple will understand this. There are certain damn things that every human being on this planet must watch. And you know where I'm going with this. And this is the name of my new quiz. Guess what film I'm thinking about?
All we know is it's an old black and white film. That's still pretty vague. We need a few more clues.
I'm not even going black and white, but you know that we all have to watch Blazing Saddles.
Oh, I love Blazing Saddles.
We all have to watch Airplane.
Yep. Naked Gun.
Naked Gun, absolutely, yeah.
Young Frankenstein.
These are the things that we must teach people to watch.
Soylent Green.
Okay, Donald, that's a really weird dream. I think you might have a Shirley Temple fetish.
Yeah, no.
Oh, spooky. We're not allowed to say that one. We're not allowed to say that movie. I got my fucking stream deleted for talking about that fucker.
Yeah, this is one that everybody should know.
Oh,
and they're
as you wish.
They're threatening to remake it. We just cannot allow that.
It's one that just doesn't need to be remade.
Right. There would be no point in it. But there is a dark side to this movie that people don't think about. When Wesley comes back and explains about being on the pirate ship, she says the Dread Pirate Roberts never leaves any survivors. And he says, yeah, you leave anybody and it just becomes work, work, work. So how many people did Wesley kill?
He's probably killed quite a few.
Yeah. You don't think about that part of it.
A weird just happened. I've just comfortabled myself. I'm using a pair of headphones that I haven't worn in a very, very long time. They're very comfortable, but they're old-fashioned, so I can now hear you really well. That's cool. So oh my God.
I have never actually seen The Producers. That's one I have to see.
You really need to watch that, Purple.
Yep.
You definitely.
I don't think I've seen that one either.
Oh my God.
But I might have. What's the main plot about?
It's
let's not go there. Don't go there. You'll get yourself banned.
Well, it's a Mel Brooks film, and the producers are trying to intentionally make a show that will bomb.
Okay.
They need to lose money for a tax write-off or something like that. I forget exactly. But so to make a
sounds
musical,
like it'd be funny.
To make a musical that will absolutely be sure to bomb, the musical they wrote is Springtime for Hitler.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, it's very politically incorrect. And it's a truly hilarious film.
What older film isn't politically incorrect?
Yeah, but the thing is, the original film, I think, was like 1971 or something. But there's been a remake from, I don't know, a few years ago. And it is truly funny because it's just a funny concept.
It sounds funny. I want to watch it now.
Yeah, a lot of people think The Goonies is a big one too, and I don't.
I do love The Goonies.
I don't get why that one was such a big thing.
The first one of my stupid streams that I did, I was so excited about playing the songs from the musical. It's a musical. The Producers is a musical, so it's got lots of songs, but it's not your usual kind of musical, because most of the songs are about Hitler. So you can get into a little bit of trouble if you're not careful. But it's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. It really is.
Yeah, I want to watch this pretty soon now. But The Goonies was a good movie. I like The Goonies.
I could probably do about 5 seconds from the famous song before Purple gets baninated. I'm not going to do it, don't worry.
Well, yeah, we were talking about wrapping this up about a half hour ago, and I really should.
And then I came along. I ruined
then
everything.
We started talking about movies, and we all got into it, so.
Yeah. Movie talk can always make everybody want to just chime in with things.
Yeah.
Springtime for Hitler.
Sammy is saying I should be in bed already.
Do what?
Sammy's son, my cat, he's saying that I should be in bed already.
Yeah. Time zones really suck because you're going to bed. I've just woken up.
Well, for most Americans, this would be closer to waking up than going to bed, but I just don't have any normal schedule, so.
Yeah, I need to find normal people because you Americans are fucking weird. Nobody exists in my time zone.
Spooky said that, Seraph, who said that they're so tired they can barely read the chat, but they just can't fall asleep. That they should watch one of your old streams and they'll soon nod off.
Yeah, this is true. This is very true. That's one of my talents. I can make people fall asleep.
No.
Springtime.
I don't think I could fall
for
asleep if I stood
Hitler
on a stool.
and Germany.
Because with stool, it's like, yeah, just when you start getting bored, then he like jumps topic or says something that so totally doesn't fit that it makes your brain try to rewind and play it again.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or a piss take. I don't know. But here's the thing. I've had a shave. I'm not quite
sure either, actually.
I've had a shave, so I'm really going for it today. I haven't got a beard, but I'm still wearing a hat.
So are you going out somewhere?
Are you wearing a tea towel?
You dirty fucker. How do you know about this?
Because you've been on stream with me with it wearing a tea towel on your head.
Oh, that was a very long time ago.
It was a couple of weeks ago.
No,
maybe a month.
Oh, Purple, can we ban this person, please? He seems to have a memory. I don't like it when that happens.
Okay, so you only want Trump supporters. You want people who can't remember what he said an hour ago.
Yes, please. I just want idiots.
Yep, so you're surfs in the same time zone with us then.
Yep.
Oh. Well, I'm 9:40 a.m. And I'm waiting until 11:30 a.m. because then I can do the sexy because the pizza shop will open.
Ah, that's what you're waiting for.
Yeah.
Yes, Seraph said she's in the time zone that matters. Or he. I don't know. Either one. And Native Atheist is in the chat.
Oh, he's been there for quite a while. He wasn't saying much when he was hanging out there.
Yeah. Okay, yes, Seraph correct me. He's in the time zone that matters.
I've done some science about this, and I think that everybody who works in side chat is a pervert.
You know, I haven't seen any scientific data that backs this up, but I 100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, am I a former pervert then? Because I lurked in side chat for well over a year before I started my channel.
You're no better. You're no normal person.
Doorknob Head also agrees. That's just facts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, we should wrap this up. Do either of you have anything you want to plug before we go?
Yeah, like I'm going to answer that.
Okay, well, I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is this coming Sunday. So
Yay.
I need 9,669 more.
Oh, I could plug something. I thought of something to plug.
Okay, go.
Purple, my birthday is about 5 days after yours. So I would like to be given gifts. I would like 2 mermaids and a Swedish lady with Swedish bosoms, please. So if anybody's listening, I'm just putting this out there.
I'm sorry, I'm all out of Swedish ladies.
Okay, but the people inside chat might have some. Yep. So I would like a Swedish lady with Swedish bosoms. I kind of want to say I want a telescope, but I've already got one. So ham. I'd like some ham. My birthday is next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday. So if you're listening, people inside chat, my birthday is next Friday. It's on the 23rd. Send me gifts. I would like ham. Oh, I'd also like Jennifer Aniston, please.
Well, that's a long list because there's several people who want Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, but I'm older, so I get first.
Well, I don't think that matters. I think Jennifer Aniston has maybe some say in this.
You are very wrong.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, I would also like mermaids. Thank you, Aunt Jeff, for reminding me.
She's hoarding the mermaids.
I would like... I'm not greedy. You know, I'm a kind of modern man. So I would only like one mermaid, not 2 or 3, just one.
Well, my birthday has passed a long time ago, so all y'all fuckers didn't give me a present.
Speaking can just go and fuck off.
Please consider them subbing.
We got a whole bunch of birthdays here. We got a whole cluster of them right here in July.
No, Andrew's is in October.
Oh, okay.
July is the month when the proper people have birthdays.
Yep, but the Lavender Lady is also the day after mine.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Mine was in May.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of yours then.
No, mine was the 31st of May.
I'm surprised there wasn't anything on Twitter about it.
Because I didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, but on Twitter you usually don't have to. It usually tells people you follow.
The really worrying thing is that my birthday next week is on a Thursday. And that's kind of dangerous because it's pretty well known that on Thursdays I make a dick of myself. So it will.
Why, thank you, Sarah.
It will end in tears.
Robert X wants spooky. Robert X wants spooky bedhead for YouTube president because of the unsubbing to your channel. Stool.
Yeah, this could be a new thing. Let's make this a trend. Hashtag unsub from Stool. Let's see how many unsubs I can get.
You know, that could work as a marketing ploy because statistically there are more people who are not subbed to you than who are subbed to you. So they would have to check out your channel in order to unsub, and that would drive more traffic to your channel.
This is very true. But there's one slight problem.
Damn.
There's one slight problem with your cheeky I can't think of the word. There is one drawback to this, and that is I do not give a fucking shit. I don't care.
Doorknob Head said the only person I know with my birthday was in boot camp with me, stole a round from the rifle range and threatened to shoot a DI with it. True story.
Oh, what is that film called?
That's
and he said later the DIs and he became friends. And the movie you're thinking of is Full Metal Jacket.
No, that's not the movie I'm thinking of. No, you mentioned boot camp, and now I'm thinking, damn it, what is that movie called? Shit, I can't think of it.
Yeah.
It's got the woman who was in How I Met Your Mother. Bandcamp. No, that one time at Bandcamp. What's that movie?
Okay,
American
I'm not
Pie.
looking anything else up because we're trying to shut down the stream.
It's American Pie.
That's the one. Anyway, I've interrupted. I apologise, Purple. You're trying to wrap this up. I will now.
That's okay. So, okay, goodbye, everybody. Stool and I should be on in about 12 hours on Black Sofa's channel.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
So, okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Goodbye, people.
Bye.